Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers Monday Live. It's 1 p.m. Hello, everybody. Is everybody still surviving? All right, we're going to talk about it today. It's crazy. It's totally crazy out there. There's madness. I have some stock updates. They suspended the hours of service. Who's getting more miles? Is that helping everybody? And see you at Matt's in March of 2021 because we're not going to go this year. They eventually closed it. I figured that they would, so it got closed. But are you actually getting more miles? What is happening out there? What are you actually seeing? What is going on? They just closed all the restaurants here in Indiana, and so there we go. So Columbia, Georgia was first Wednesday. Michael Muller was the first screenshot, and Wow Bell was first today on my screen. So there we go. So what's happening today? Trucker Hershey is here already. Kay Wayne was by himself for a while. Hey, Creepy Joe wants your vote. Right, so that's pretty good. Handsome Poochie, hello from Brewer, Maine. Wow, that's what's going on out there in Maine. Hasn't reached anything up there yet. King Bob, hello there. George H.W. Bush, the president, can ring in on what presidential things there will be happening. Christopher Van Dyke, what's happening? It's crazy out there. Misty, hello. With a roller wiener, unusual to see you with a wiener today, so that's good. I forgot that too, by the way. It's Roller Wiener Monday. Don't forget about that. Everybody get out your wieners, and if you can, because they're known antibacterial, so that's pretty good. Nothing can live on them, which is nice. Kim English is here. Oh, really? You have the load of what we all need? Chris Streeper, let's go. What's happening? So, Christina, what's happening? You'll be driving but listening. All right. Hey, hello, James Faust. It's good to see you. George Wilson. So here we go. Michael Cole is here, and it's a respiratory issue. Why do they need TP? I don't know, but there hasn't been any since Thursday. It's Meijer here for me. Kitty Ling, hello there. What's happening? Ryan O'Ryan, you are not first. Very close, though. Van and M. Oh, Van and M. Trucks from Windsor crossing the bridge. 2 hours to get to the United States. Nice. I love it. So that's pretty good. Vamp Priss, what's going on? Yeah, stay healthy out there. I hope everybody has all their supplies. Eddie McFadden. Oh, there's been reports too that like Loves and Pilots are closing. They're not closing, okay? So don't read into these reports. You know the quote I had there, right? The welfare of society is always the alibi of tyrants. It's such an arbitrary thing. The rules are so arbitrary. And who's the government to say you can't be open anyway? That's always my libertarian viewpoint on it, but they say, we don't want gatherings of 50 people or whatever. Down the street here is the Subaru plant here in Lafayette. It's one of the largest plants in the United States, or certainly in Indiana, for making cars. Thousands of people work there. They don't seem to have a problem having that place open. That they don't mind at all. Trucker Hershey got a teal truck. Nice. I assume I won't ever be seeing you again. That's pretty good. That's great. It's good. When do you go out? Are you out there already? James Morrow, I got a load of hand sanitizer, toilet paper. What should I do? Sell it. It's if anyone looked on eBay, they're $50 for the 6-packs on there. So wish I would have thought of that 2 weeks ago. I will tell you that. The UK told 70 people to self-quarantine for a month. Your dad said, forget that. Well, I will tell you, the guy, I don't know what they would do there about it, but there was a guy in Kentucky they told to self-quarantine. He was seen outside. He got arrested. So, and they said now they will forcibly quarantine him. So keep that in mind. I don't know how they'll do it overseas, though. Probably be more like in Italy, everything's closed. You're basically not allowed out of your house for anything. That's what I was seeing on TV. Spain, same thing. Peterbilt 379, hello. What's going on down there? What are you seeing? Right. Did they give you the GPS route on that teal truck to avoid this area of Indiana? That's good. The Costco fleet is hopping, right? I did see that a lot of fleets are asking drivers to work 14 hours plus per day driving. So, and that's the problem always with the hours of service, which of course are arbitrary as well, right? Because if it's unsafe, other times it's unsafe now. They can't say, this is safe or this isn't safe. They can't do that. They can't have this arbitrary safety, not safe. If it's unsafe, period. You cannot do it both ways. Cannot have it both ways. And people are just falling right in line. The sheep are falling in line. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, what else can you do? Redneck Investor roller wieners. Thank you very much. Wow. That'll get me a lot of roller wieners. Of course, I'm going to have to get them to go. You have to get them to go now, starting, in an hour or two, at least in Indiana. The governor's closing all eat-in restaurants, so there won't be any more of that further notice. What about all the people that work there? Oh well, just send them home. But if you work at a large factory, I guess that's okay. Working in a large factory, no problem. Other large gatherings, we can't have that, though. It's crazy. Ohio restaurants are closed. John, yes, I saw they closed Ohio. All the schools here are closed. But what was at the store? Tons of macaroni and cheese. So I thought they would buy that for their kids. There was no bread at my Meijer. Most of the water was gone. All the toilet paper is gone. And all the cleaning supplies and stuff like that. What were people doing before? I mean, how many rolls of toilet paper do you need at your house? I have a countdown board over here of my toilet paper. We'll see. I have about 7 weeks worth of toilet paper at my house, so we'll see how it goes. Hello from DGDC, George Costanza Fulton. Customers were waiting at the back of my trailer wanting toilet paper. I know. I put a video about this too. Lock your trailers. Okay, seriously, lock your trailers. Especially if you're running a trailer that says, I've seen Charmin trailers and stuff, okay? Lock those trailers up. People will steal your stuff. You should lock them anyway, right? But, I mean, be very careful about where you're parking and stuff. Traffic light during morning commute through any light traffic. Yeah, that's the other benefit, I guess. Light traffic. People can't go anywhere, so we have that benefit. Asked my company if I was affected by the new state of emergency. They said yes. How much extra they're going to pay me, and they changed their mind. Well, that's the thing. The state of emergency thing with the hours of service, it doesn't mean you're going to get paid more. It just means you're going to work more. I guess it would. The theory is that you could work all these extra hours. You can do 4,500 miles, right, in a week, maybe more. And make some money. Owner-operators, the rates are going way up on this stuff. So you're going to be seeing way better rates coming up very soon, I think. Imperial Sink, hey, drivers, hey, what's going on? Rico, what should you do? Just do what you normally do, right? Wash your hands. Hey, take a shower every once in a while. That'd be really great. And that's it, right? That's all you can do. That's really all you can do. Society is just that, we can't close everything, and that's going to be a huge problem. Everything's got to get back to normal. You can't close everything, send everybody home, and then be like, oh, well, what are we going to do? It's a real problem. Drivers should refrain from disposing human waste. Yes, Chris Streeper. Streeper, yes, that is the sign that should be. Please do not dispose of your human waste in parking areas like normal. Oh, Carlos hello from Reno, heading to Oakland. All right. That's pretty good. Is anybody seeing any extra miles? What's happening with that? Is anybody running extra hours? How are you dealing with that? What are your companies saying? Where we go now, when you go to work, you have to tell them if you're sick or not. And if you tell them you're sick, they send you home for 14 days. That's what they told us. If you tell us you're sick, you're going to be off for 14 days, unpaid. So enjoy. And I wonder how many people will use that, because we're running 50% higher than normal call-offs, they said. Hope once the summer starts, the heat will burn off the virus. Oh, good. Let's hope. This Costco driver's been getting police escorts. Wow. I heard Costco, they're running pretty hard over there. Jesse Palm, good afternoon. Hello from Wyoming. For once, it's not windy. Great day for driving. Sam, it's about time. But Reno, that area, it snowed pretty hard here lately, didn't it? I want to drive a ballpark truck so I can have the biggest wiener on the road. That's the only way to do it. I'm dropping in late. Flying J's closed. Landed to free. No, see, here's the thing. People put out the Flying J's closed. I've seen this on different Facebook pages. Love's closed. Oh, they're not closing. Okay, people got it. That's the thing. People need to stop putting that out. Are they closed? No. They just can't eat in the restaurants. Most states now are closing their eat-in restaurants, but I've seen this all over the internet. Oh, all pilots are going to be closing their stores. No, they're not closing. You're still going to be able to get fuel. You're still going to be able to go get your wiener in there. Chance, what's up? Ola from Florida, car ram. Gary King on my truck training, doing really well. Good. Gary, good. I love it. Not much going on in Western Kentucky. I know, there's nothing happening. What's up, Chance? All right. Hello from Alabama. Just got off a Carnival cruise ship. Oh, nice. It was only about half capacity. We got off, a boss called and said you can't come to work. Right. That's the problem of cruising and stuff. I wouldn't have told him probably, but now that he knows you're going to be off for a couple weeks, and that's the problem. That's the problem with this. So what that does is discourage people from getting medical care. Because if you go in and say, oh, I might have this, then when they test you, you're done. You're done for 2 weeks. So people aren't going to go in and get medical care that they need. Hey, wow, Bill, who do I drive for? Yeah, I don't mention who I drive for. It keeps them out of my videos. And also, then I don't recruit for them, even though now seems to be a time to get in, depending on what you're hauling. I don't recruit for them either, and I think that keeps it pretty clean out there. I'm a young and I'm fighting it for about 9 days. Roy, Gmail, pretty bad. I'm very healthy. Lots of coughing, blood, shortness of breath. That's what they said. Yeah, worse if you're older. That's what they're saying. Yeah. How do you think you might have contracted that? They don't want any large unnecessary gatherings. Yeah, how about work? The critic. What about the Subaru plant here? 1,000 people plus work in there per shift. Vermin, I met a pilot and the McDonald's is not allowing dine-in. The driver's lounge is blocked off. Right, you just have to get your food and get the heck out of there. Why are people buying all the ammo? It's not a zombie apocalypse. Are people buying up ammo too? I guess so they could shoot people with the that have all the toilet paper. Vampirist martial law. That's the only way to get people to stay in their houses, certainly. And that'll be the end of the country. If you can't leave your house, how do you go to work? James, no panic in Missouri. Plenty of toilet paper. Well, there's food. I will say Meijer had plenty of food. There was plenty of food. Props to Missourian for not buying into the hysteria. No doubt. Why don't we put a 14-day moratorium on the media? That'd be way better. Looking to go in at Millis for CDL school, but you had a pretty good $20 an hour job. Nothing much. School closed because of coronavirus. Right. That's good. That's right. Good. You shouldn't be worried. Just live your normal life, and you'll be fine. And if you get it, you get it. I mean, just keep clean like normal, and that's all you can do, right? Big Huge Mike is here. Good. I'm awake for a show. Can't wait for this pandemic. I know. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. Restaurants, stores, and other businesses are open. Oh, that's good. Georgia didn't get in on the hysteria yet. I can't see truckers getting the disease. We don't get near each other. You know where I could see it happening. Right. That's stores, something else like that. And really, at a truck stop, most places you don't have to even go in and get a receipt. You can get it outside if you need one. Candy aisle was fully stocked. Oh, I noticed this at Meijer. A lot of stuff is empty or whatever. They had a whole display of cabbage heads, which nobody had touched. So I thought that was pretty funny. People are like, no matter what, if I'm locked in my house, I'd rather die than eat cabbage. So that was pretty good. What's happening from Rochester, New York? Hey, what's going on? Trucking journeys. I know our Walmart fleet is busy, I bet. And personally, the non-Walmart fleet has asked us to haul paper loads and water. Good. And you can just keep running. Matt, what's in Haymark in Clarksville? Everything is empty. Some places are more empty than others. It's Niagara water and Procter & Gamble paper. All right. You'll be busy doing that. Kenneth, is not affecting you. Stay stocked in your truck. Everybody, I don't know why people at their houses, they did a survey apparently, and people have less than 3 days of supplies in their house. What are they doing? Get some stuff in your house. Be ready. Trucking with Otis, good morning. Light traffic is awesome. Even bad market is a good market for someone else. Oh, sure. I mean, stocks. Yellow's $1.60. I have a bunch of these here. Time to invest right now in stocks. If you have some time to invest, some companies are down 50, 60%. Absolutely. Love the light traffic going through Chicago. Right. Nobody can go anywhere. Of course, eventually those people don't have any more money left to spend anywhere. Your wife, Al Johns, your wife called you worried about the stock market and her 401k. That's correct. Count your blessings. She's a nurse. I'm a driver. People get sick and need stuff delivered. That's correct. There's a down and an upside, but always buy everything. What does Warren Buffett say? Buy everything when it's on sale. In New York, the government's operating at 50%, Michael Dow. Restaurants, takeout, and delivery. Only supermarkets are closing at 8. Yeah, I saw Walmart's closing early. Meijer didn't get in on that program yet. It's still 24 hours a day. That's exit 172 here on I-65 in Indiana. They have truck parking spaces, too. So if you need a parking, you park at the end of the parking lot. Hello from Canada. It's so bad they closed the casinos. I know. They're doing that. Some of them in Vegas are closing. Now what? All those people what are they going to do? They got to go home. All the dealers and all that, they have to go home. They're not working. Eventually, these people don't have any money left. Vampirist, no miles or extra miles. Oh, okay. So you're not hauling for this? God Transco won't hire you? Who's God Transco, Roy? Where are you going to fall back when things go full road warrior? What per mile rate will our door gunners get paid? That's the thing. Eventually, right now it's going to be good for owner operators. But once all the toilet paper and stuff gets restocked, that's it. So now is your kind of time to jump on it. Jonathan Organ, can you explain how the hours of service suspension applies to us? If you're hauling something that is in a direct, let's see what I have it here. Okay. They're suspended through April 12th. That may continue. All right. You need to be in a direct relief effort. That means medical supplies, testing equipment, masks and gloves, Purell, anything that it says food, anything to restock store shelves. So they're kind of nebulous on that. They're not really clear. I would say anything that goes in a grocery store personally, but hand sanitizer and any people, if you haul a bus or whatever, or if you put people in your trailer, I don't know, but that kind of stuff. If you haul that stuff, while you're hauling it, hours of service don't apply. You still have to log. Okay, so you have to run a log and notate your log. And I personally would keep a copy of the bills, which I should have said in the video. So once you're done with it, keep a copy of that bills and keep that in case you're asked later, what's the story with this? Oh, it was this load of toilet paper or whatever. So you can prove what it was 4 days later after you transfer your bills in or, trip back your bills in or however you send them in. Keep a copy of that bills, but you can run, there's no hours of service for you, okay? Once that load is delivered, though, you then have to take a 10-hour break before you start another load. But that next load, if it's with this, okay, that's it again. And mixed loads don't count. So as Cash is King Trucking said earlier today, you can have a whole load of gloves, and they put also a pallet of dog food on there, which I don't know, that'd be an emergency if you had a dog, but then that whole load doesn't count for it. So the whole load has to go for this. And then it's suspended till April 12th. And we'll talk closer to April 12th and what if your load continues over the 12th. Vermin, I asked my company about running extra miles and hours, and they said I could. However, they're still stuck waiting on appointment times. They should get those appointment times move up to get you rolling. Just ran from Omaha to Jersey and back to Omaha, now running down to Phoenix. Wow. See, so you're going to get some miles. Work for free. Well, you're going to at least get extra miles that you could get 4,000. You can get 4,500 miles. How's this affecting trucking companies? It depends what they haul. So companies that haul this kind of stuff are loving it. And other companies like me, we're just regular business as usual. Misty, some Clem shoe just followed me to our laydown yard asking what was on my truck. Yeah, get the heck out of there. I mean, driving normal to heading to Amarillo. Not everybody has to do it. I was in Alexandria. I was in Harrisburg yesterday, and the traffic was light. That's nice. That's good. Stop people from almost merging in front of my truck. Well, at least the traffic is lighter. You can get some more miles done, too. Does this hour still only affect direct relief? Yes, only if you're in a direct relief effort. It also is for buildings. It says for buildings that are related to the relief effort. So temporary housing in a relief effort. But I don't know how that qualifies. What is a temporary housing? They're really nebulous on it. But just a regular load of, some kind of other part like toilet sink fixtures that go to a plumbing supply store, that thing probably wouldn't qualify. I've always got my food to go to truck stop. Guess you're kind of an introvert. That's why we drive, right? That's what attracts people to trucking. I just ate McDonald's in Pilot, Laredo, Texas. I need you to quarantine yourself for 14 days. Hi-Fi Trucker, ShipX must keep the hours of service rules. That's a good idea. And by the way, it's up to your company. So your company can always say, no, you're not allowed to run over. You still have to keep the rules. And I think it's a good idea to maintain the hours of service rules because, look, not every cop is going to understand this. So you're going to get some dinky cop in some little town and goes, I never heard of that. No how. We don't know nothing about no rules extension. And you're going to be put out of service. And then you'll have to go fight that later. So I think it'd be better to do it, but they are suspended. James Faust, don't wear flip-flops or Crocs. That should be all the time, not just during this, certainly. DoorDash is doing no-contact deliveries. I did see that. So you can order food from DoorDash and have it left outside your door. So that's good. Misty, I literally delivered to a Walgreens in the back and walked around the front and bought my toilet paper. You bought your own stuff. They say don't buy your own stuff, right? Don't never get, because that ruins your profit. Now we can negotiate with the government if all of us are going to self-quarantine and nothing can do about it. Yeah, that's what I think. Red Monkey Trucking restaurants will close. A lot of them are already closed. Any word on the lawsuit other than they finished that up? No. I haven't heard back from anybody. Because there wasn't a lot of information on the Sierra England lawsuit, so I wrote to the guy that wrote that article. No response. And I'm a member of OIDA, too. Oh, they're giving a deal, too. I should say that. They're giving $10 off since the truck show is canceled. So if you want to join OIDA, you can get $10 off through March 31st for joining. So there's something you can do right there while you're quarantined. This would be a really great opportunity for every driver to just take 2 weeks off and say they want a union, but you can't fire us. Well, that's true. Trucking journeys, except a lot of drivers are making extra money. People won't ever give up a little bit of money for a lot of money later, and that's the problem. You haul meat and produce, still no extra miles or money. That's disappointing. I mean, produce that goes to a store, I would see that. I'd say, yeah, that qualifies, certainly. I'm hauling dock type material. Is that medical? If it goes to a medical dock, I guess. Red Monkey Trucking, hello there. Mark, you always say be ready. So true, James. Yes, look, I have probably 30, 40 days of supplies at my house where I could just not come out. So, and that's just a good idea for everybody. Just have supplies in your truck. Have more than, one candy bar in there. Have stuff in there in case you get stuck in the truck somewhere. Well, Bill, everything is closing except the rail yards that have infested containers entering daily. Those containers, if they're international from China or whatever, they've taken quite a long journey to get to you. I would say they've been UV lighted in the sun and put on a boat. They're probably all right. Michael Mueller, Trump pumped over $1 trillion in the market, which disappeared in less than an hour. Could have used the money for getting test kits. It's a disaster. All restaurants are closed in Chicago with bars. I know, the clubs are closed. I can't go out to the club on this weekend. Dang it. My Village People cover band, we had to postpone some dates. Hi, I'll just finish 5-week Schneider bulk new driver training. Supposed to get my truck this week, shifting gears. What do you think about the bulk training, and what kind of pay does Schneider start a new driver out into bulk? And how much bulk do they do? My company just got a bread account. I wonder if that will be busy. Yes, Meijer was completely out of bread because all the kids are home. With all the stress, we need a cat break. I know. And we should find that over here somewhere. Right there. So Gracie's not having any problems with anything at all. That's for sure. So that's what she thinks about the whole deal. She's like, why don't you just use a box like I do? This hasn't affected auto parts. No, not yet, I don't think. Auto dealers are still advertising and everything. Do not run extra hours without extra pay, DRI. Well, the theory is, of course, which you'd get extra pay, right? Because you'll have more miles. So you can get an extra load or two in, so you'll get extra pay. But they should pay you more to run over. They should, but your negotiating power is very slim, really. At the Walmart DC, everyone's calling in sick. They can't unload trailers, and they can't load trailers. That's a problem. Some people are going to use this and say, well, I'm sick, and not come in. But if you tell your work you're sick, they're probably going to make you stay home. So keep that in mind. If you go, oh, I'm kind of sick, they might say, well, kind of stay home for 2 weeks. You've done 70 hours for the last 2 weeks of the Costco fleet. That's not that much. You mean 70 hours a week? That's just normal, though, right? Open borders, what could go wrong? Exactly. I hope Wuhan virus goes globalism. Well, time and a half over 40. You should, but not a lot of people get overtime. Mr. Build-A-Wall chose not to close the border because of the hoax. If it was real, this is my opinion of it, right? Why aren't they closing businesses? If it's a gathering that is the problem of more than 50 people, why is Subaru open? Wabash National makes trailers here in Lafayette. There's tons of people that work there. I mean, we have, there's a Alcoa plant here in town. There's all kinds of places where people work. That's not a problem. Oh, yeah, you can stick with people for 8. Well, the Subaru is like 10 or 11-hour shifts. That's okay. But then when you leave, don't go eat at McDonald's. Come on. Charlie Glover, what's a good trucking company that's got a school? Yeah, go to school by getting your state to pay for it. Especially now. You can't go in. They closed the unemployment office here in Indiana. Call your state and see if they'll pay for your truck school. That's the best way to do it because then you don't have a contract. Asian markets are a great place to buy food at the moment, I bet. What if the individual preparing your food infected? How does that work? You could be infected, I assume. I mean, not a doctor, but I think that's a problem. And you may not know. That's the thing you don't know. You never know. What if the person that prepared your food 3 weeks ago was infected with something? You have no idea. You're always taking a chance. Change the speed limit to 80. That would get more loads delivered. Alexander, I don't think this is the most important fluid in the world that I've got. I'm pulling a mixture of ice cream and candy. I think that qualifies. I mean, you could mix those two together. That has Blizzard written all over it. Once the Pornhub servers go down, that's the end of everything. Once those people can't come to work, then what are we going to do? We're all stuck in our houses. Gotta get out of your bunker. Truck derated from low blinker fluid. You got to get the good stuff, which now you can't. You just have to throw the money at the cash register. Like some Dan Crenshaw, Kushner still want mass immigration. Yeah, I don't know if that's a problem at the moment. I was supposed to get married this summer, but looks like I'm going to have to postpone that. Really? You have to postpone your marriage? Why is that? I had 4 people at my wedding. So if it's stuff that goes to the store shelves, right, then wouldn't Walmart fleets that deliver to Walmart be exempt from the hours? Yes, I think so. I don't see why not. I mean, anything that's in one of them is food for restocking shelves. So yeah, I don't see why they're not exempt. I totally agree with you at the moment. They should be getting tons of miles. And I'm sure Walmart is paying them extra, so I'm late, no demerits, Dave Johnson. Well, I appreciate you saying that. Get a better living. Livingston, Montana. All right. Nate, Jerry Roth. There we go. Boy, I'm off on that. The Trucker's Life, good afternoon. Hello from Abbott, Maine. Just found out my nephew's Florida wedding canceled. Don't know if I should be happy or not. I don't know. It depends on who. Why do weddings have to be canceled? I guess I don't know. I'm on the other side of that. There were 4 of us at the courthouse, so... Walmart DC in Auburn had 8 dock workers walk off on one shift, slow to get trailers loaded. Why are they leaving? Are they just afraid? Are people just afraid? That's the problem. The government gets you afraid, right? Then what? The welfare of society is always the alibi of tyrants, right? They build this fear up in you, and then, oh my gosh, the world's going to fall down because everybody else. People see this in society. They see what other people are doing and base their lives on that without any thought into it. And that's a real problem. Kenneth Snyder, glad I don't do Walmart. What a pain in the butt. I agree. I don't go to Walmarts anymore. I will say shipped. It's a couple days to get your food now. All the RV factories in Indiana. Oh, yeah. What about the RV factories? Why aren't they closed? They say the virus is in North Carolina before China. I don't know about that. This showed up at the end of last year. Get it by saving for tuition. That's a good way to do it too. But you can sometimes get the state to pay for it. That's the best bet. Just give them a call. Some states pay for this. No charge for you. It's a grant that you don't have to pay back. Big Berry, Blueberry, man. A double shot of premium tequila, followed me by 2 ice cold Budweisers. Well, you won't even know if you're sick or not. We drivers need to step up and help our country through this thing, not use an excuse to pressure the government for our own personal gain, except the government is the one who's making it up. Half the severity of it is not consistent with what they're doing. Because if that was true, large gatherings would be banned, like workplaces. But they're not. You can gather for 11 hours a day under one roof with people, but you can't sit in a McDonald's for 15 minutes. Okay, so when it's made up like that, then I don't tend to follow what they have to say. What about no speed limit for commercial drivers? The problem is my truck only goes 65. And no, that's probably not a good plan. That would certainly be unsafe. How about everybody goes the same speed all the time? I did a delivery to Walgreens on the Vegas Strip. I've never seen the Strip so dead, Misty. I know. There's most of the places are closed now, right? What's your opinion on speed limiters? Politicians are trying to pass? No. All the speed should be the same on all the roads for everybody. If they're going to pass it for trucks, then let's get it for cars. If they say 65, then they say all vehicles 65. How about that? See how far that gets you. George H.W. Bush, Walmart fleets are exempt. Yeah, I think they should be, certainly. Please, peace and blessings to all the professional drivers out there. We appreciate that. Thank you for that. Remember, good afternoon. Be safe. We have snow in Chicago. Oh, yeah, but it's not going to stick that much. I mean, it snowed here Friday. Really heavy, wet snow. But it's gone already. Edward, who that person? Yeah, it's time for all the truck drivers to get together. Never mind for the service of the country. We are to do that. It's time we can together to get more money. At least there's more money right now through April 12th. If you wear it, make it a parrot. Always wear a blue parrot. Get it, put it on your head. You got a wiener in your hand and a parrot on your head. That's the way to go through life, folks. You heard it here first. Okay. So, totally right with that. International still makes a Pro Star. It's still on their website. Yeah, they're horrible. I didn't like the one that we just had lately. I just got one for a day or two. It wasn't an improvement. I didn't think the LT thing that I had, not an improvement. Alexander, by the very loose definition, my 44,000 pounds of ice cream and candy should be. I think so. It just says food to restock shelves. Okay, that's what they're saying. Food to restock grocery shelves. If that's where it's going, that's certainly food. And if it's going to restock a shelf, I don't see why not. I mean, that's the thing of it. They're really nebulous. They're not like specific. So is it qualify? I don't know. I would say it's food to restock a shelf. If it's going to restock the shelves, it qualifies. But if you get put out of service, you're going to have to explain it to somebody. They still need the 1034. It's a real hindrance. There's none of that if you have some of these products. The Hensley Show. Hello. Hey, what's going on, the Hensley Show? Good to see you today. Stephen Taylor, beer's not exempt. That's disappointing. Is the Sierra England lawsuit still going on, Christopher Dyke? Well, they just settled that part of the lawsuit, for which I just had a video about that. I don't have that paper out here. It's going to travel to either Ireland or Japan to get married and honeymoon. Oh, nice. Well, super fancy for you. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Do you know you can actually get married right here in the United States? So that might be a way to do it for about $40-50. I don't remember what the license is now. I've had mine for a while. Walmart drivers are picking up extra load that USX can't keep up with due to drivers not being available. Well, maybe US Express is not allowing drivers to use the exemption as well. It's company by company. They don't have to let you use it. They're just allowed to use it. Shifting gears, the pay formula is complicated. I never like a complicated pay formula. I'll be dedicated to a chemical plant near Chicago. Miles per week, $17.50, 45 cents plus 4 cents if you meet criteria. That's not bad. 45 cents to get started like that. Walmart should. It's the standard of what's going on. They're a special breed. I don't shop in there. As you know, I've talked about it. I just don't shop in Walmart. Not a fan of them. And I lost this. Okay. Construction site unloads and a van is so slow. I can't imagine. TJ Jones, you're at a construction site unloading a van. Do they have at least one of those crane things that goes inside the trailer? I told my dad we need to get paid from free trips and post trips, and he told me to stop watching you. Well, have him watch the channel and come on here and say, yeah, I think drivers and employees should work for nothing. That's not a great plan. Because we've always done something doesn't mean that's the right way to do it. There's a lot of things that have been done in the country that they later found out are wrong. Like right now with all these restaurants closed, we're going to be finding that's wrong. Government does this to suppress people's perception that they should go out and vote. This is all a coordinated effort. That's interesting because they did say they weren't closing that off here. So I don't know what they'll do about it. We vote May 5th, right in there, that first week of May here in Indiana. That's an interesting way to do it. All the Vietnamese and Thai supermarkets are out of rice. How do I know my wife is from Laos? We eat lots of rice and know lots of people from Southeast Asia. Okay. Yeah, because it's a staple that'll sit on your shelf. People bought up all the stuff that is shelf stable. Should we get a Chicken Little t-shirt with a picture of the skies falling? Yes. At the moment, I think so. Otherwise, close all the large businesses. Well, Bon, good afternoon, Mark and Trucking Answers fans. Hey, it's good to see you. All right, so you also get short haul pay, detention, breakdown, bonus for retention. Oh, that's nice. 1 year pay should be 55 to 70. All right, let us know in a year. That's not too bad to get started, though. Close to 50 cents. The diesel doctor can come out of retirement. He can have a virus special. Indiana casinos are closed for 2 weeks. Our employees are getting paid. That's good. But if this goes on longer than that, like the DOT thing is through April 12th. So if this goes on past 2 weeks, they can't just continue to pay people. Like Disney World's closed, they're paying people, but that's not going to last forever. The LT was a replacement for the ProStar, yes. And I don't think they improved it. That's the thing. When I had that one, I didn't find an improvement. It was loud. The visibility, I didn't think it was great. The buttons and all that are still not where they need to be. I didn't think it was a good improvement. Just got word from dispatch because they asked about it, and they said at Smith, drivers have to follow the hours of service unless we're pulling a trailer that says disaster relief, trucking journeys. All right, so they're saying some drivers, but not all drivers. Right, because they don't want people to get confused, I think, and just go way past the hours of service. Warehouses will be fine. They just get temp workers if they can get them to come in. Hello, Mark. I'm helping to spread. Corona just picked up a load of Corona in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. That's great. Where's that headed off to? And I don't know if that would qualify or not. It's a food product. Mark is broadcasting from a hidden bunker. Well, he's well stocked with roller wieners. That's all you need. Once you got roller wieners and teepee, that's all you need. In and out. That's correct. We're going to broadcast here even if we're Even if we're quarantined, we'll still be broadcasting. Where one person calls out, another person is willing to put in overtime. That's true. It would seem. There's always somebody willing to do things that you're not willing to do. Which we do actually pull disaster relief trailers, but only during hurricanes, maybe 1 or 2 a week. I doubt we're doing anything like that right now. So they're not letting their Walmart fleet get those extra hours. Love's isn't closed. I just got 2 rolling wieners and a Dr. Pepper. Right. Love's, Pilot, which people are posting on some of these Facebook sites. Oh, somebody said, I heard all the Pilots and Flying J's are closing. No, they're not closing. They're not closing. They're sending 6 people home or whatever, but they're not closing. Alexander, my specific freight is going to Hershey redistribution plant in St. Louis for local grocery stores. That's interesting. That's going to restock stores. That to me, that's food. If your company, it's up to you. You're a company, though. If they'll allow it, I would think that qualifies. Keep the bills. I mean, when you turn them in or whatever, make a copy at the Loves. You'll probably have to ball it up and throw it at them. They won't take it from your hand. I met a Pilot employee that told me he was pulling a 24-hour shift. Yeah, well, look at the money you're going to make for that. Indiana closed all the casinos for 2 weeks. Yeah, I was betting that would happen. And they had a betting thing there. Had to start somewhere. Schneider does a lot of liquid bulk. Hey, that's pretty good. All is chemical, no food grade, most hazmat. Thought about starting food grade with Prime, but had to wait for trainers. Yeah, look, 49 cents plus these other bonuses. That's pretty good to start, I would say. That's way better than a lot of places. So I think that's not too bad. Peterbilt is discontinuing the 389 for mass production, will be available for a special order. That's disappointing, huh? I just got hired by Pilot Flying J and I start on Monday. Are you going to haul fuel for them or what are you doing there? Ireland and Japan are on both of our bucket lists. Well, you're young. You've got a long bucket. I'm just saying that you don't have to delay a wedding because you can't travel. The wedding isn't about, I don't know this from me, but the wedding's not about the ceremony and the party. It's trying to make a life together. You got a lifetime to do this. Get married now, make that commitment and take a look in the mirror and make that change. Michael Jackson said that. Vegas is now conducting marriages by Skype. I wonder if that's legal. They had drive-in marriages there, though. So, King Bob, if you're in Vegas, but they had drive-in, you don't have to actually see anybody. So, because that one guy bought that bank, if you remember, you can get your marriage, and they send it through the tube, and they do it through the speaker. No big fleets using the exemption. Drivers are trying, though. Yeah, you got to have your company okay it. Liquors like Vika could be exempt because they're antiseptic properties. How about Zima? Would that be exempt? That's some good stuff, wasn't it? Hello from Central Texas, barbecue trucker. Apologize for not being here. Yeah, we missed you. We need you now. We need you more than ever to set up in some parking lot and feed everybody. I shop in Wally World because it's the only thing around me. Frankie Rich, yeah, you need to move. I don't like, if there's a Walmart, there's got to be other stores. I mean, maybe the Walmart put everybody out of business. USX is allowing exemptions. Just half the drivers are totally worthless. That's probably true. What I mean about Walmart, that if an employee were leaving the warehouse, they should freak out and think everyone is following suit because Walmart is a special breed. Well, I mean, and there's that too. So if you're in a warehouse and somebody goes, oh, I'm sick, I'm going home. Half the people in there that are just glued to, getting their news from the internet, just not thinking anything through, are like, oh, I'm probably sick too. And so, they're probably like a lot of places. As soon as you tell them you're sick, they're going to send you home for 2 weeks. And if places are paying you, like if this Walmart distribution center is paying their people, no wonder they're saying they're sick for 2 weeks. Did you miss another FMCSA update? Are the 10 and 34-hour breaks also suspended if you have a sensitive load? Yes. Hours of service, 390 to 399, all suspended for loads that are in a direct relief effort. So, yes, absolutely. Edward, the big companies will continue to pay their employees, and then I'll get money back from the government. That's probably true. That's probably what they're thinking, is that they're going to get the money back on the back end. Yes. Otherwise, they wouldn't pay you. No tractor will ever replace the porn star, and especially the porn star LT. And the supersized one. I have the new International LT, and it's quiet. I saw you were going into an International, but I didn't like the way the switches were laid out in it. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I thought the Cascadia was laid out way better. It's like they just updated the ProStar, but I didn't like it. I mean, it's a personal thing. I mean, maybe you two will find it that it's okay truck, but I just wasn't impressed that the update, it's like They didn't think about anything. That's how I saw it. Barbecue truckers working part-time at Six Flags Over Texas operating their steam trains, and now they're closed. Are they paying you? All food straight from the factory to grocery DC, and I still must follow the rules. Chris Streeper. Yeah, it's up to your company. It's up to your company. So if they're not allowing the extra hours, then you're stuck in it. Which hours of service is better between Canadian and American? Well, America, we're better. We're just better. I saw your first teal GP truck in Austinburg, Ohio today at the Pilot. That's awesome. These teal trucks, although you don't get it guaranteed, they're around. And that's how you get in touch with GP Transco. I haven't seen one yet, other than pictures, which is really amazing. And I look around now for them, and I still haven't seen one. One hasn't passed me. They must have somehow GPSed me so that I don't ever get to see one of the trucks. Got 4,000 miles since Saturday. You're autonomous. Right, you're a robot. William, my fiance, is a physician here in Ohio. Oh, she's tested positive for the virus. Well, she'd be exposed, I guess, to a lot of people, right? It's doubling every 6 days. And there's a lot of people that probably have it that don't know it. Not everybody gets severe symptoms. So if you get sick, you may never know it. You wouldn't get tested. And I'll tell you now, it would really concern me to get tested, only because they may quarantine you or whatever. That's the downside of it, is that they may have to report it. See, I don't think they should be doing that, because it prevents people from getting health care that they may otherwise need. If you know you're going to be reported, maybe out of work without pay at a lot of places, you may not get health care. And that makes everybody else sick. So the thing between you and your doctor ought to be just between you and your doctor. Sam, traffic seems lighter on 80. I bet there's going to be several weeks of very light traffic. Alexander, Pilot's not closed. You got 2 Cajun dogs and a Coke. All right, Cajun dogs. Too spicy for early in the day, but not bad. Yeah, Pilot's not closed. Jay's not closed. Love's. But there's all this on the internet. That's why I'm going to put that out there. There's tons of people posting on all these trucker sites. Oh, I heard the Pilot is going to close at 6 p.m. tonight, all their stores. No, they're not doing that. Just got a message from Pilot saying all locations are open. I know they're putting this stuff out because there's all this stuff. As soon as somebody sees it posted, they're closed. They just immediately repost it without looking it up, going to the site and go, are they closing? No. They are, for all I know, there's no truck stop that's closing. Some of them closing their restaurants and stuff, but you can still get in there, park, get fuel, do all that stuff. That's got a notification for Pilot, right, that they're open. I heard that was false and that Peterbilt 389 is not getting discontinued anytime. I know if anybody followed it, you do. You're on their, you're like their biggest fan on their website. So, and I have lost my spot as usual. I just tell these places you have Ebola. They go, oh, well, that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. You get married overseas. That means your marriage is not legal in the U.S. and you want a divorce and you get divorced or you get married. Don't they recognize marriages from other friendly countries? I mean, I don't know how that works, but I'm not sure. The Hensley Show. The reason they are closing restaurants and bars is just to slow the infection rate. If everyone gets sick at once, it will cripple the hospitals. Not everybody gets super sick, but I agree that's what they want to do. But then why don't they close workplaces? At a restaurant, you're there for a limited period of time. But like the Subaru plant, Wabash National right here in Lafayette, there's thousands of people work there all day. That doesn't seem to bother them at all. Although a friend of mine works at SIA down there, which is Subaru Industry of America. It used to be Subaru Isuzu America. Anyhow, the cafeteria is closed. So you can't go in the cafeteria down there, but apparently you can work in the plant all day. I think a lot of it's made up. Otherwise, they'd close that. The line in Walmart is long. I'm about to cough. Does that bother anybody? I thought about that at Meijer this weekend. And I'm in there on Sunday, which it was busy. I was in there like at 7 in the morning. And it was still busy. And I thought, man, if you cough in here, everybody's going to look at you like you have the plague now. I live in a small town in Alabama. We had a Winn-Dixie. They closed all but one store. It's not convenient. Walmart is not open 24 hours a day anymore. Trucker Beetle Bailey's here. Flying J just sent out a notice that all these locations are open because there's tons of people posting on the internet that they're closed. And so they are not closed. They are open. Your closest grocery store is a Kroger, Alexander. A closest store, we have a Kroger here in town also. And they're open for business as well. It's called Payless here, but it's a Kroger store. Aren't all newer trucks quiet? Not necessarily. I think part of it is the tires, but some have more sound deadening than others. I always found Western Stars to be super quiet because they're so heavy from all the sound deadening and stuff they put in the trucks. They're watching you. I bet they are. Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I just made a delivery in the ghetto of Baltimore. Casual's Gig Trucking. Yeah, I saw you had a ton of stops around Washington, D.C. I thought, oh, that'd be the great load for me. And then I thought, oh, no, wait a minute. Didn't you start at 1 in the morning or something doing your load too? Crazy. The ghetto of Baltimore. Where's the good part of Baltimore? Maybe over by where Duff makes cakes. What are your thoughts on Super 10s, James Faust? Well, I mean, they might go good in an LT because you're so aggravated by the truck that I found that I might be like, I would have not have noticed the truck because I'd be so frustrated with waiting for the transmission to shift. You know what they say about International 13-letter poop spreader? I know. I know. You can't see me. I'm here. I'm looking at the thing. I'm on the screen. So, let's see. Yes, there I am. Okay, I'm on there. Let me make sure. I try to watch that. Sometimes I forget about it. Hot dogs are free at Flying J through the 22nd. Buy a soda. Really? Free wieners? All right. Where'd everybody hear that? Everybody go get your free wieners. They're not paying me? Yeah, I'm considered part-time. I'm not sure what they're doing with the full-time. Six Flags is always hush-hush. Oh, yeah, they don't want to tell you stuff. And so this is the problem in the whole country with this. You lay off, half the country and don't pay them. That's a big problem because suddenly they don't need all the rest of everybody to work at these factories and stuff. It's got a huge problem. Guess 209 in Corydon in New Albany. It's $1.75 around here. Oh, yeah. Christina, come on up and get your free gas. Grocery aisle at Flying J's fully stocked. Oh, they have toilet paper at the J's? My mom is an RN in Corpus Christi. I'll be worried whenever she says to be. Exactly. She should be more worried because she'll be in contact with more sick people, doctors and nurses and everything. Absolutely. But overall, am I concerned about it? Not really. I mean, I just go about my normal day. We run Pete's and Volvos. And I think Pete's are the same way. Switches laid out all over the place. I like the Volvo. I think Volvos are like super nice too. Everything is laid out logically. It's like they take time to think, okay, which switches are right? Because it's international too. The switches are just random. Like why, really close to me, why is the fifth wheel slider switch close to me? How often do you use that switch, right? And so then other switches that you use more often are farther away. Put the switches closer to the driver that they use. Take time to think about that. The details in a truck like that, and a car too, make a lot of difference when you're driving it around. Day Cab Gear Jammer saw a red GP Chanchco truck in Northern California. Is that a West Coast thing? Some of the trucks, they have owner-operators. So GP also hires owner-operators, and those trucks can be whatever color. They don't have a color thing on the owner-operator. So you may have seen an owner-operator truck because the color doesn't matter. Alexander, it's only spicy if you let it be spicy. It's on your head. I have to mind meld with the wiener. I'm able to drink hot sauce. That's probably why I can have nice things in life. I can't have nice things in life. I gotta do a Vulcan mind meld with this wiener. Kelly, if you're married overseas, the U.S. recognizes it. So if you get married in a normal country like that we recognize, they recognize the marriage as well then. Okay. The only things out of stock at truck stops is hand sanitizer. Yeah, you can't find that. That whole aisle gone, right? Leon, we need Ubi Yang Gang. Yeah, where did the Yang Gang? They went off. Now we need them back. Transport. Trump is about to sign an executive order for an interstate travel ban throughout the USA. Oh, that'd be a real problem. That would be a real problem. He wouldn't ban supplies, though. It maybe for cars or people. I've seen for people, but not truck drivers. That's exactly what it'll say, too. People are banned, but not drivers. So I've seen 3-deal trucks on 94 and 96 in Southwest Michigan. They don't come here. They're not allowed. Red truck is probably an owner-operator. Yes, that because there's no color. They don't have a color-coordinated thing there for the owner-operators. I like the emails from the truck stops. I was seeing there more and more cleanings, like you didn't clean before. That's what I know. Restaurants are doing that too. We're taking extra time to clean. Why aren't you always cleaning the restaurant? What is going on there normally? The barbecue trucker, now I can wrap my wiener in foil and keep it hot all day in the boiler of a locomotive. That's pretty good. I just lay my wiener on this locomotive. Creepy Joe just filled up at the pilot in quartzite. Cashier said no closing down. Exactly. These people posting this stuff, all it does is incite panic into everybody. The pilots and J's and that, they're not closing. Truck stops, they're going to be the last place to close. They may change the way they do business there, where they don't want you coming in and stuff. You know, if you can, stay outside and get your receipt, that kind of thing, but no way. Frankie Rich, you're a yard dog at Honda plant and employs 5,000 people. It's still running. Yeah, my brother-in-law works at the Honda plant in Marysville. So if you work over there, I'll let him know that you said hello. So, and they're running, right? 5,000 people, still working, no problem. But be sure not to have any large gatherings. That's why this is either a scam or, you know, it's basically just, the rules are just arbitrary. They don't have any meaning in anything. Hey, James, have you noticed that nobody's making fun of preppers anymore? A YouTube prepper channel, a good YouTube prepper, is city prepping. Yes, have some stuff in your house. I don't know if I'd consider myself a prepper, but, you know, have some things around. You can't just go through your life with 2 days of stuff. If the truck's shut down and you can't get out of your house, why don't you have things in your house? I've always thought you ought to be able to walk in your house, shut the door, and not come out for a month without getting anything extra than what you already have in your house. And that's just for everybody to just do. The mind intentionally left blank. I got an extra run Saturday, hauled 21 pallets of water for a delivery to one Walmart. They could not get bottled water from anywhere. Good. And now you can use this HOS exemption to get right over. I bet it sold immediately. Some Walmarts are open 24 hours. Walmart put a notice out that said all the Walmarts will close overnight for cleaning, which apparently they didn't do before either, and restocking their shelves. That's what they said. George Wilson's not buying into the government conspiracy. We're supposed to be a free country, but yet the government's controlling the media. What gives? Well, the government is controlling all these things that, personally, I don't think they have the option to do. I don't think they can say you can't go to a restaurant. Who are they to say to close a restaurant or a gathering? Like, you can't have a gathering? You're specifically allowed to gather, constitutionally. So somebody needs to get a lawsuit going if they're banned. Most drivers are kind of solitary anyway, so it probably won't affect a lot of drivers. President Trump is about to sign an order for an interstate travel ban. If that happens during the show, I want to hear about that. And you got to have the exact wording of that. So an interstate travel ban. I mean, I heard that may stop domestic flights. But if they do an interstate travel ban, it would just be trucks on the road. That'd really be something. Have you heard of the new airless trailer tire? Yeah, I thought that was pretty amazing. They have a trailer tire that has no air in it. You can't see anything. I'm here. I am here. The ghetto of Baltimore starts at the city limit and goes to the city limit on the other side. Right, exactly. That's how you know you're in it. Creepy Joe, people don't realize how close the economy came to crashing. $250 trillion in national debt. They just dropped interest on zero loans on big purchases. I know. And they said they're not going to go negative. All the airlines said they need $50 billion. Yeah, that's a problem. Trucker beat a Bailey. I'm delivering John Deere parts all over the place, and it's normally 4 to 10 stops. They're only open 8 to 5 and 8 to 12. Well, unfortunately, you won't be hauled in this, but at least you only have to work during the day. Is trucking going to suffer because of a virus? Yeah, because depending on what part of the industry you're in, if a restaurant can't take people in to seat them, they're not going to buy as much food, and this will just affect everybody eventually. Makes life easy knowing my running hours hauling John Deere. I agree. And all daytime deliveries, that's a huge benefit. Makes Canada just close the border per MSNBC. The border. So ironically, Canada is putting up a wall. Hey, Peterbilt 379 is going to go. I wonder if we'll see an increase for people driving for companies that haul food. Oh yeah, I mean those places are going crazy. So one of the nice new GP trucks here in Huntington, West Virginia. Oh, I wish. Trump cares more about the stock market than the health of all people. Put money in the stock market, but disappeared in an hour. Well, I mean, how much of this health thing is real? Otherwise, why are we not banning workplaces? Alexander's on 70 westbound, just east of Columbus. Does anyone know where the Church's Chicken, the nearest church is? I love their sandwich. If you think they're cleaning extra, you're wrong. Look, I'd be happy if some places just started cleaning anything. Wash your hands and keep your distance, which is what most drivers do anyway, right? That's why we drive. Come on, let's be honest about it. I'm taking advantage for the last 7 days straight, and I probably won't take a day off till Saturday. safe is a state of mind. Day cab gear jammer, right? And if it's not unsafe to do this, why is it unsafe to do this all the time? They can't have it both ways. Oh, it's absolutely unsafe to drive more than 11 hours unless we need your toilet paper. Then it's safe. No, they're so two-faced about it. It's only necessary gatherings like concerts. No, Indiana, they're talking about they don't want anybody gathering. They told everybody to stay home from churches. 50 people is what the governor said. Oh, you're at the Honda plant in Lincoln, Alabama. All right, you're at a different plant. But see, they're working, not worried about it at the plant. But then once you leave the plant, you can't go to a restaurant. No toppings at Love's. You can't refill your travel mugs, but roller wieners are still out. Yes, I saw that. You have to get one of their cups. Like, what the heck does that do? Why can't you bring your own mug inside? You bring your whole body in there full of germs, but you can't bring your mug in there? I mean, one of those large mugs, everybody washes those every year, don't they? You used to take it in the shower and rinse it out in there. I know it was business as usual last night because the parking spots are full on I-40 in Arizona, right? That's what I'm saying. Transport King martial law. That'll be the next step. And if nobody can go out, you got a real problem. You invested in lead. Six Flags is not paying you. Yeah, that's a problem too. The government created the ban. Yes, created this problem. The Walmart in Fort Worth is literally half empty. Yeah, Meijer, depending what you were looking for, whether you could get stuff. You don't need to panic, but you don't need to be too relaxed. Yeah, exactly. Just wash your hands and, take it normal. And if you're sick, stay home. Look at what happened in Italy. I don't think they could do that here. I will see. I mean, telling people they can't go out at all, I mean, come on. Restaurants are licensed by the state. That's how they can be closed. Yeah, I thought about that too, that they have some kind of licensing thing. I thought, so they can ban, seating. But your license, they can't just rip your license, it would seem like, for no reason. If your license is good otherwise, what about that? And what about other gatherings? They don't want you gathering anywhere. So, that they say you can't eat inside, I don't know. Maybe it's on the license that they get to regulate that. I just bought the cure for coronavirus, Jim Baker's website. I know he got fined by the FCC. He's not supposed to still sell that. That was actually in the news last week. He's selling colloidal silver as a cure for the coronavirus. The FCC said, hey, you can't sell that. It's not a cure for anything, right? Because it's not FDA approved or whatever. And so he's not supposed to sell it. I guess he raised his price. In the article I read, it was only $90. The U.S. had mandatory quarantine for similar occasions throughout history. That's not a great plan for the economy. People be smart at coronavirus next year, but not everyone. It's going to be announced at a press conference in New York and New Jersey going to lockdown. That would be really something if they locked everybody down. That would be really incredible. Just found your channel. Love it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's my understanding that you aren't exempt from hours of service if you're on a regularly scheduled load of critical supplies. The way they worded it is it's got to be one in direct relief efforts. So if it's a regular load, I mean, this is the, the down into the weeds part of it. If it's a load that you always take water this week there, like every week, every Tuesday or whatever, theoretically, is that in it? Not really, but it does say food to restock shelves counts. So what does that mean? Part of it is your company. Wonder if this pandemic will affect me hauling stone and wine. Well, wine would be food. How about that? I saw GP Transco truck at Jubits in Portland, Oregon. Man, they're all over the place, but not here. Alexander, it's going to end up bottoming out the entire economy. I literally just saw an autonomous truck drive past me with all of its stupid sensors. It won't get coronavirus. And this is a good way for them to get money. Say, hey, look at what we can do here. Only two ways to stop the epidemic: restrict movements for people similar to China or let it end itself. That's it. Let's let people get sick, or you're going to have to make everybody stay inside their house for 3 months. And that's a real problem. I should have tossed my empty cup of coffee. Tried to hit one of those sensors. Yeah, take one of the sensor off and see what happens to it. I'd like to know if it parks itself or what it does. The last few days have been hurry up and wait to be loaded. Everybody can drive all these extra hours, but then getting that stuff on and off is a problem. Mexico's considering closing the northern border. That's hilarious. We can't have you Americans coming down here. Oh, that's funny. Drug dealers will be hustling toilet paper. That's true. I was thinking of breaking it up into like 4 squares and repackaging it in Ziploc bags. The critic, unnecessary churches and necessary building cars and trailers are. Exactly. That is true. That's certainly more necessary. I should have been a funeral parlor director. They're going to be busy for some time. Maybe. Some people, no need to impress girls with diamonds and jet paint. Hey, look what I got. I got a roll over here. All these people running and grabbing toilet paper. I walked in the Walmart. I got a bunch of Huggy baby wipes, and I'll be working on my kids. I figured you were good. Yeah. My Meijer here, nothing. That whole aisle, empty. Empty. You can use their cup to fill yours because people are dirty and put the lip of their cup on the nozzle. I had my truck washed last night at the BB and had them finish off with disinfectant they use for reefers. Really? They have that for the truck? My church closed for the time being, but we're still doing our live stream. Yeah, they're live streaming services. So the wife was asking about that for Easter. I go, well, they're going to have, you just click on the Jesus picture. That's for that. I don't know what they're doing about that for Easter because people go in and get all their communion stuff. Why is it you're not done over the road in 3 years? No company wants that driver. That's true, Joe, right? As a local driver, I can tell you that I would have to go with a trainer somewhere for not having recent over-the-road experience. So they don't count local driving experience. There are some places that will do it, but most of them want your recent experience. If you're in a home, the babies will be lining up. Samuel, right, that's what people are saying. Internet should help you. As long as you can get on the internet, you can still get all the things that you need. My wife worked today. Now I'll be off until April 6th and then go on maternity leave till April 9th. Leave on April 9th. She goes back a couple days. So she's got a bunch of time off. Health department is closing restaurants. Yeah, you can only drive up, right, and get your stuff to go. Passing so many laws will our trump our rights. Citizens need to start exercising their right with no fear. I don't see how they can ban travel. The whole point of the United States is travel. Locally, our cafes are still open with the no to-go areas as such, no dine-in. Right, that's what they're doing here. Corona spreads through germ contact. In other words, trucker A puts the lip of his cup, and then germs stay for everyone following will get contaminated. Don't drivers wash their mugs? That's true. That's true, though. Stupid evangelicals drinking bleach. No, he's selling colloidal silver, and the FCC told him to stop it, so I'm surprised it's still on there, because that was a news article. It's definitely a good time for them to pass bogus laws. Oh, sure, people are afraid, and so they always look to the government to solve their problems. Why would a church need to close? Wouldn't the power of prayer be sufficient to protect the members? It would seem that way. Toilet paper is the only number one product that you can buy to use to smoke weed and smoke bike behind you at the same time. Okay. I don't know about that. In Denmark, it's mandatory for everybody to be checked. There's not that many people in Denmark. Alex Jones. I did see Alex Jones is selling something too, and he got in trouble too on the news for that stuff. I knew I should. Where did I get that? I bought stocks for Nestle. I was looking at some of that, like Procter & Gamble today. Although last week it was a 116. It's only 109 today. So it didn't seem to. I thought Procter & Gamble would be way up, making all that toilet paper. It didn't seem to affect anybody. I think we're facing a total lockdown. That's a problem. If the ports aren't working, how do we get toilet paper? Well, they make most of the toilet paper in the United States. If it ends itself, then it'll be the worst case scenario. Too many people for hospital resources. Some people will have to go to the hospital. Not everybody does. I still yet have not been at Walmart. There are probably only bachelor supplies left. There's not much in there. If a drug dealer starts selling used toilet paper, just say that makes him your butt plug. Nice. I don't think too many people can go 2 months without work. There's been talk of a lockdown for 8 weeks. Oh, right. It's going to be a big disaster. People can't go 2 months without working. It'll close the whole country. They'll have to pass something where everybody gets paid. And then all the companies will say, well, we don't have the money to pay people, so the government will have to pay them. Did you see the 60-minute show about autonomous trucks last night? I taped it. I have not watched it yet, but I did see that it was on and taped it. Anybody have any thoughts about Freymiller? Is it a good company? Who's out at Freymiller? They should be doing good with some of this food right now. How are drivers eating on the road with only drive-through access? Well, you can walk in and walk out to go, as they say. What's the deal with the suspension of hours of service with the state of emergency? Well, right now, if you're hauling supplies in direct relief effort to the virus, direct relief effort, you don't have any hours of service right now. So that's medical supplies, testing equipment, masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, food to restock shelves, and personnel. Patriot Act 2.0 is on its way. Oh, new and improved for your safety. In a national emergency, they can ban travel or anything they want. Martial law style, yeah, that was not going to be great. Love the channel. Thank you very much. And they shouldn't be able to do that, because of that darn Constitution thing. I heard Mexico is thinking of building a wall at the northern border. That'd be great if they built a wall to keep us out. Alex said his toothpaste killed coronavirus. That's what he got in trouble for. You can't say that because it's not a cure, because it has to go through FDA approval, and that's what he did get in trouble for. He's not supposed to be selling it. So, and I know Jim Baker, they put the kibosh on that. I don't know why he's still selling it. I'm taking a Dayquil every day to combat the virus. Is that working? Dayquil? Paper load, 350 miles, $1,000. I know owner-operators are going to benefit from this. You're going to get a large pay bump. If Alex Jones toothpaste kills a coronavirus, it probably kills your teeth too. I wouldn't trust Alex Jones with my medical needs, but that's just me. Alexander, is there any way you can put that 60 Minutes flip up about autonomous trucks? I don't have a 60 Minutes card, but it was on last night, and I don't know if it's on YouTube or whatever. So the 60 Minutes from last night had a show about autonomous trucks. Part of the show was autonomous trucks. I haven't watched it, and I don't have a card for it. So you'll have to see. Maybe it's on YouTube or on demand if you have a way to do it that way, or in the CBS site. I'm not sure. Hello, on 30-minute break between Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and Lewiston, Maine. Handsome Poochie. Hello there. What's going on? GP Transco. Hey, what's going on over there? Hello, everybody. Sorry we're late. Are you seeing anything different? What's happening from the inside there? FEMA always suspends weights and rules during a state of emergency. I don't know what's surprising. During Hurricane Katrina, I was offered to store dead bodies in the reefer. Yes, they do, but if they can't have it both ways. They can't say it's unsafe for you to drive over 11 hours and then say until April 12th, it is safe for you to drive over 11 hours. If it's unsafe and going to cause deaths and accidents, then they shouldn't do it. And if it's safe, then it should be safe all the time. That's what I'm saying, is they're so two-faced and arbitrary about the rule. I just got a news bulletin that said we're in a recession. Do they send out bulletins about that? Hey, we're in a recession, by the way. Sierra England pays 46 cents after training. That's better than they used to pay. I'm ready to stay inside my truck for weeks. I can cook on the catwalk. I have a camping toilet, food, and water for weeks, and a bucket to clean myself. Well, you're super set. Thinking more liberal states, how long they decide that gunpowder and gun oil might not be spreading the virus. Gun oil, that's good. So everyone has to turn in their guns. Well, why are they registered, is my question. I wonder how they would stop interstate travel. Put police at all the state lines? Yeah, how are you going to stop interstate travel? I say good luck with that. Air Gunner Bob, hello from I-90, New York. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Alex Jones also got popped for DUI. I know, I saw that. Maybe he should talk to Jim Baker and get some colloidal silver for that. I'm trying to get into a multi-level marketing deal with Jim Baker and the Cure at Cash's King Trucking. You're going to be rolling in that delivery, Washington, D.C. delivery money. Kelly, good me a bone for tree cutters and other loggers. GP require the woods to make toilet paper. I just read on Twitter where Canada's closes border to all non-residents and travelers. That's hilarious that they don't let us in there. And you're right, it is time for a cat break for all that. And she's just doing fine. Stocked up with cat food and ready for her 14-day quarantine. We see rates going up currently. Driver applications are more frequent. Some drivers are not showing up to orientation because of the fear. Oh, really? Huh. Well, you need a few more people in there, I guess. How is freight doing? Rates are up. Is there more freight? We need a Super 10 break. Yeah, you get one every time you shift. You can take almost a 30-minute break, Mark. I have the perfect answer for truck drivers. Other than owner-operator's salary, then you never have to worry about miles. That's true. I always like to ship X salary. Honey, ginger, and garlic to stay healthy. I saw a video over the weekend that said England is making everyone train or become a team. That's great. Everyone, you either have to train or become a team, which is training. So I guess you're a triplet or a team there. Alex Jones is the man. Well, Mark, perfect solution for company driver's salary. Yeah, I agree. Alex Jones is a dangerous idiot. Well, that may be the case. I don't know if I would take medical advice from him, Yellow was $1.60 this week. from $1.64. U.S. Express is $3.23 today from $3.32 last week. So they're not taking this huge hit that I kind of thought some places were. And I actually thought some trucking company stock would do good. I thought it might go up a little bit from all this, but I didn't see that. Roadrunner 673 down from 717. They're still on their slide. Let's see. Pam 2711 from 3310. So they're down a lot. Oh, let's see. Salary is three-bunk truck illegal gathering. Oh, that's interesting. What about as a trainer? That's a good question. So you get just random people coming in your truck. Anybody train out there? And what are you thinking about that? Before you put somebody on your truck that the company doesn't know or whatever. Yeah. Would you think anything about that? Are they giving out cleaning supplies to trainers? Kelly's got a kitchenette in your truck. Refrigerator, hot plates, cooking utensils. Oh, you're all set too, man. Alexandra, last year, Alex Jones was caught watching fetish porn on his phone by a pop-up on his Google account. You have to look this up, but I'm not lying. Well, I mean, look, if it's not illegal, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. He can watch, like everybody, really, in America, whatever trips his colloidal trigger. More freight and higher rate don't haul cheap. There should be some more extra freight. I mean, there was a huge line posted of people waiting to pick up toilet paper at some Georgia Pacific plant. Sierra England could do 4 students per truck. The bad news, one still would get to sleep on the floor. That'd probably be the best seat in the house. Oh, the 3-bunk truck could be mobile quarantine? That's interesting. You could quarantine. I'm just wondering about trainers now that somebody brought that up, that... are trainers concerned about a student that comes on? Because you don't know where the person came from, really. I mean, they're just giving you somebody into your truck. So any of these countries or any of these companies that have a trainer, they just give you a student. You don't get like a choice. Well, maybe maybe that should be part of it. Maybe a company says, well, we're going to test students and they're going to stay here 14 days. Of course, that would cost a lot of money. If people are banned from traveling at the country, they're going to have to pay everybody, and that is going to cost a fortune. Your $1.75 gas, that'll be done. I don't think the direct relief program will affect mega carriers since they have so much drivers. They can dispatch the proper person with plenty of time. They could, but you don't need the plenty of time. You can go get it there and then take 10 hours and then get the next load all the way to where it's going. They could. Alt Gunner is picking up a trainee today. All right, what do you think? No problem? Afraid? Not afraid? Is it okay? Eddie McFadden, yeah, watch whatever you want. I agree, right? It's America. Watch whatever you want to watch. As long as everybody's an adult. That's all I say. If you sneeze, I'll run. I was concerned about that at the store. I thought, I wonder what people think about just you going out and you sneeze, and then everybody looks at you like, like a Night of the Living Dead. Like, wow, you're Sutherland, and everybody's pointing at you. It seems that warehouse started to run low about a week ago, and orders for freight deliveries are going up now. That's good. So you keep your trucks rolling. And are you doing anything with the direct relief efforts? Are any of your truck hauling that stuff? And are you allowing drivers to run more hours? Costco stock is over $300. I didn't look them up. But what was it last Monday? That's what's important to me. Like Procter & Gamble's down, and that's what they make. They make paper products. Toilet paper, there's mass hysteria. Some of it's reasonable. Some of it is. But then people start buying it. Everybody else starts buying it. And suddenly there's nothing left anywhere. That's the problem. It is funny. Hours of service rules. Walmart gets sued for $40 million and the driver was 15 minutes within his hours. Right. So there's that driver that ran into the comedian Tracy Morgan's bus in New Jersey. Walmart got sued and had to pay. And that driver was legal. And they said, well, he was tired. You should have known he was tired, because he drove all that time. Well, and now, you can run as much as you want. It's not unsafe. Interesting. Maybe right now, if that would have happened, that driver might not have been in as much trouble. Leo's madness. I was a trainer once, but no more. Way too many sick on the road and trying to drive a truck. Well, there's way too many people driving that shouldn't be driving. The virus isn't spreading in South Korea because they're doing mandatory testing of citizens. I don't know if you can make people come in and take a test. Of course, I don't think you can make people stay in their house, personally. Solitary soldier, Mark, for a company driver's salary is the way to go. I get $32.50 biweekly. Yeah, I agree. Look, a salary, you know what you're going to make. At least a base. I always say at least get a base. Not many companies do a salary, but at least get a base pay. What would be bad is if the virus evolves in people in quarantine and the vaccine they are working on will be useless. The vaccine's a ways away that they're working on. Mandatory team driving at some companies. Forget that. I'm out. I'm not teaming with anybody. And not because of this sickness or whatever, right? I'm not teaming. I don't team. That's it. Do you got an old truck picture? Did I have one truck picture? I don't think I showed this picture. I didn't get too many of those. I'm not sure if I showed this. This is an old Mack 613. MH613. And by the way, for an old truck, which today it seems old, this is a 1989. This truck is an 89. Which I guess is relatively old, but not old in the way of trucking. But I mean, holy mackerel. I remember these trucks being on the road. You know, and you don't see too many of these cab over Macs around then or today. So a 1989 Mac, that's really, that's something. I would make my trainee fill out one of those arbitrary coronavirus forms. I heard some places are asking you to not only fill out a form, but put your phone number and information on there. And I don't know if I would give them my number. What are they going to do with that information? Is that going to get turned into some database? I mean, come on. And I guess if you don't tell them the right answer, you don't get in. But then are you in some database again? Coronavirus is just a cover for the destruction of the deep state. The virus is an elaborate screen by quilted northern to sell toilet paper. That's working. That's certainly working. They got that down. That's good. Cash is king trucking. That's a good way to keep people away from you. Just got to go around fake sneezy whenever a bunch of people are around you in a store. Except they'll call the cops now. I think people now would probably call the police. There was a guy in an airplane. Did you guys see this? He was on the plane with a mask because people are wearing masks now more than they did. And he got on, and some of the people in there alerted the pilot that they turned the plane and put it back to the gate and brought him out to go be tested. So, I mean, it's a real problem. I make a percentage, Jason Hill. I told my boss I'd do a 1,000-mile run for loads grossing over $3 a mile. I'm also a 17-year driver. You have a little bit of authority with it. But yeah, look, they should pay you more. They're getting more on it. But as a percentage, you're going to get more, right? So this is the benefit of percentage right now. But then once all this capacity comes back and the loads go back down, then your pay goes back down. But right now, you get a raise. Absolutely. Soon you'll be able to rent lot lizards with toilet paper. Yeah. How many squares for that? Wear a medical mask and people will definitely stay away from you. That's true. If you have the mask on, nobody is going to bother you. When an autonomous truck goes to sleep, who's going to wake them up? Oh, well, they'll probably K&B will call them like they used to, although they're not doing that anymore. James Foster, oh, you drove one of those? I never had a Mac cab over like that, and there weren't too many of them on the road. Unusual. With that nice small sleeper in that one, too. Little sit-in sleeper in that. What's the latest with Matt's? Oh, okay, Matt's. I'll see you at Matt's. Mid-America Truck Show. It's coming March 25th to 27th, 2021. I will see you all there. So I hope you get your tickets. The tickets are not available for that. They usually go December 1st. This year, of course, Matt's got canceled. So, and they are not going to reschedule this year. Too much of a hassle to get the whole thing rescheduled. They're just going to do it next year. It's the 50th anniversary of Matt's. And I hope to see everybody at that Matt's show. No Matt's this year. Too bad. So all you have to give 10-year work history to get a driving job. It is the law, Lee. 10-year work history, that is a federal law, and the company will be required to collect that from you. Yep. Wild Bill thinks that's a nice-looking truck. Maybe you see some up there. Do any of them still run the rails? Transport King, I remember driving one of those trucks for North American Van Lines in the 80s, late 80s. Oh, really? So NAVL had those? Nice. Cab Overs almost bankrupted J.B. Hunt. Yeah, they didn't have too many Macs. J.B. Hunt used to have tons of international cab overs, but so did Schneider, and a lot of those places, had all that kind of stuff. Stoops Express ran a lot of those Macs you just showed. Really? Stoops Express? I don't remember seeing those trucks. If anybody asked anything in your name, you'll do it. All right. Well, anybody? That could be me too, I guess. I haven't shown too many trucks you have not driven. I know. It's like a James Faust, like you've driven every truck. So this one, I mean, I thought, oh, this truck is not that old, but it turns out it's an 89 because that was getting close to the end of cab overs when we finally went back, when we went to, the conventionals that you pretty much see around the United States today. That was getting the end of cab over time. Too bad. A lot of people still like them. You still see a few of them around. See, USA Truck's $354 today, and it was $347 last week. They're only up a few cents. I thought some of these companies would be higher in their stock price today, but it didn't happen. I should, next week, I guess I'll have to look up a lot of food places and see what they're doing. What does the market think that this is going to happen? Because currently they're only closed, I guess, for the end of the month here right now, but I think at the end of the month they'll be like, wow, we're controlling people so well, we're going to extend this. They'll do whatever we tell them because I'm the governor and I know everything about medical things. I mean, come on, people. You can't just sit in a hole. You can't dig a hole and stick your head in it and stay there your whole life. You can't. Be different if like 90% of the people were dying if you go out of your house. That's not happening. Is it a chance? Yes, it's a chance. It's always a chance walking out that you're going to get some weird disease because we've always had people come in from all of the world and diseases travel. So it's always a chance. That's what I think. You can't live your life scared of everything. Otherwise, we'd never get anywhere. So go to work, live your life, just wash your hands like normal. And, don't go around kissing random people that are coughing at Walmart. Your dispatchers are dispatching from home this week, GP Transco. The entire safety team is working from home. Yeah, look, if they can work from home and still do their job, I think they should be allowed to work from home all the time then, and they still do their job. That keeps everybody safe, and everybody still keeps a job too. So Comcast has extended some of their caps, although I don't have a cap here. Maybe in some cities they have an internet cap. I don't have one. So some of that is going to happen for kids to still go to school. Alexander, I got 3 people on headset, not just breeze through Columbus on headset. Like I was going through a small town in rural Alabama. That's good, but then gas is not being sold. People are not buying things at the convenience store. So it's okay for a little while, but I think, over time, this is going to be a bigger and bigger problem. Do they program autonomous trucks to enter way stations or do they just bypass them? Well, if they put onboard scales on the truck would know before it leaves whether it's overweight, right? So I don't know what they'll do. That's an interesting question. One time I'm in contact with the guy running a Locomotion. So the CEO of Locomotion. And I will write him and ask him if they're programmed to go in the scales. This is a company that does the truck platooning, which I wrote to them because they had an article that they're involved with Wilson Logistics. So one truck is driving, and the second truck pulls up behind the first truck. The trucks talk to each other. They both hit a button, and then the second truck pulls up behind the first one, and the first truck driver is driving both trucks. The second guy then can go to sleep. That's the theory. He can't currently do it. So on that, I'll see what the future plans are for that and whether they can have them pull in the weigh scales. Currently, it follows the first truck. I guess before the scale, it would break off. Gasoline's $1.89 in Fort Worth. That's a pretty good price. Texas trailer, the market is getting wrecked today. Yeah, I think the time to buy is coming up. UPS had plenty of cab overs. No doubt, right? They had those little bitty cab overs, meaning it was a day cab over. The Dow's down 23.53. That's a real problem. Oddly, truckers are one of the lower risk occupations. Right, when it comes to getting infected, since drivers don't interact with people. Office staff is at higher risk. Yeah, I totally believe that. Drivers, we stay out and hardly interact with anybody. Many times you don't have to talk to anybody all week. And now I guess people are not allowed in warehouses to count their freight. They just have you put the paperwork in the back of the trailer. I've had people write to me about that. And they back up to the door, the paperwork's in there. A lot of those former J.B. Hunt and Schneider trucks are still in operation with Mexican border companies. Oh. Living a life of fear is like living a life of regret. Yes, later in your life, you'll only regret the things you didn't do. Those are, oh, I wish I would have done this. So you can't live like that. It's not like you walk out of your door and drop dead on your front porch. Okay, so you just can't. Just take precautions and still live your life. I will be on the relief effort making deliveries to grocery stores next week. Okay, Preston, that's good. And you'll be out of, as long as your company will allow it, or if you own your own truck, you won't be subject to hours of service while you're on each load. You do have to take 10 hours off in between loads. You're required to do that. Michael, good thing I can't get it. You're a carrier. Oh, you already have it. I wondered about that too. Once, say you got it, some people probably have had it and had a mild case, because 81% or something of the cases they said at the CDC are mild. So you get a mild case and you recover. You don't even know that you had it. You maybe. Are you then protected, kind of like the flu? You're protected for a while, or you get a cold? I'm wondering how that works. Not a doctor. I wish I could get a doctor on the show. That's probably not going to happen. Preston's making $250 a day every day, all day, every day. Not going to get paid sitting around. This virus is a great thing for truckers. Finally, fair pay. All right. I think owner-operators will benefit from it if they're smart about it. UPS had a bunch of diamond REO cameras at one time. Wow. I don't remember those on the road. That might have been, maybe I was a little young to remember those. I probably saw them, though, but wasn't noticing trucks as much as I do now. Security's taking your paperwork inside. It's funny to see security being a waitress for us. They usually give drivers a tough time. Oh, so these same security guards that are beating people up in videos now are being nice and taking the paperwork in there and stuff. Do they pick it up with like barbecue tongs or something like that? You know, or maybe that long grabby thing where you go to grab something off a tall shelf. Do they reach out and get your paperwork that way and grab it and then give it back to you the same way, like in some kind of sealed thing that they put through? They put through there. I just don't get it, right? I don't get it. Oh, and somebody wrote to me. I wanted to ask everybody this too. That some companies charge a late fee. Okay, somebody wrote to me from a mega carrier, and that you go somewhere and your appointment's at noon and you're there at 1. Well, it's like $100 late fee. This is an employee, and they're taking out of the employee's check. No, I don't know about that. So is that really is that happening widespread? Where your company, where you're an employee, a legit employee, gets charged a late fee and they take it out of your check? I'd really like to know about that. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, are you serious that they take that out of your check? I don't know about that. Bruce Wilson here on YouTube is restoring a 1989 cab over. He is chroming it up and making people wish they still had one. That would look great. That would look great. Send a picture of that over. You're spreading, you're traveling to USA and spreading joy and the virus for everybody. We appreciate it. Preston, love the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. This virus is getting ridiculous. I'll wake up people. The government is behind it. Look, all this control, what is this going to do to everybody? And where do they get to say that anyway? That's just my take on the libertarian take of it. Once a virus has been attacked by white blood cells and the RNA in the virus has been expended, the human immune system has effectively built a defense against the sickness. Alexandra. All right. Why doesn't that work with the flu every year? I mean, so you get the flu. Why aren't you protected from your whole life from the flu then? I mean, seriously. This is not my science, right? Physics. I like physics. This is biology, not my thing. Ivan, OTR is a life of isolation. Let's not panic. We have lived like this for 20 years as a hermit. That's why people do it. You know, drivers that are gone all that time, we like it. We don't have to interact with people. The driver's not that social of a group of people, amazingly, until you get into a break room or the laundry room, and then all the drivers have stories to tell, either about how many miles they drove or about all the child support they have to pay. Some places do. Mack truck. Okay, some places make you pay the late fee. Keto Walk Fit, you're stuck in Maui. There could be worse things to do. Oh, I never thought about that. GP Transco, we might have construction delays to the new headquarters terminal. Freightliner still delivering new Cascadias on time until that plant closes, right? But that's true. I didn't think about the construction delays. Why for that? Because they're outside. Even the government, which is trying to hold everybody inside, said, look, stuff that's outside isn't a big problem. When is the next scheduled nationwide DOT blitz? May 5th to 7th. And I don't know if they'll do it. I assume so. But May 5th to 7th, and it is based on driver qualifications. So they'll be looking for licenses. Do you have your physical with you? Do you have glasses with you if you wear glasses? Are your hearing aids on? All that stuff. They always look all this other stuff over, but that's what they're concentrating on this year. Michael Cole, it's mutations of the flu virus. So each one's different, is what you're suggesting? The flu mutates. That's why you get it every year. So it's mutant flu. That's why you need a new shot every year or whatever. The blitz is in May. Yeah, May 5th to 7th is the next blitz. May 5th to 7th. Bruce Wilson's bringing the truck to Indy to get the inside done. All right, and there should still be parts for that. They made tons of those trucks all over the place. Transport King, it used to be June and they moved it 1 month ahead, right? It's the beginning of May, and I assume they'll still do it. Are you doing a toilet paper giveaway? I should give away squares of toilet paper on the show. City folks are more receptive to viruses than country folks. Okay. What company's charging late fees to drivers? Comfortable, man. That's what I'm saying. I've heard that companies, from people that write in, the late fee that the company is getting because you're late is taking it out of the driver's check. And I'd like to know about that. Somebody is saying that's your wages. I told that driver to immediately file with the state that they have unpaid wages and let the company explain why the driver's being charged some late fee. There are multiple strains of the flu and common cold. You get the flu more often than once in the same season. Same reason you get the common cold. There are more than one variation, Alexander. Oh, so every time you get it, you're getting like a different version of the flu or cold. So you don't get, you never build up any kind of immunity because you're getting something new each time. Maybe Sierra England could feed everyone during the quarantine. They'll just need 300 million loads real quick. They could take all the loads because each time they feed one, right? It says that on their trucks. One. You have to take a new flu shot as in a few mutates. That which protects you 1 year doesn't the next. All right. Well, I got one this year and was super sick right after the shot. And I hadn't got one for years. 10 drivers on orientation day, 12 more on Wednesday. Keeping drivers at least 3 feet apart from each other. That shouldn't be any problem. At the Loves, when you're waiting for your fuel ticket, that guy in front of you got to stand 3 feet away from anywhere because he hasn't hit the showers in a while. By the way, Canadian Tanker Yanker, we don't have a wall up here. We just have a privacy hedge. Stay off our lawn. And it's well manicured as well. I like that each bush is in the shape of a maple leaf. I love it. You not want to get inspected, run over a dead skunk? Well, I think now you could just put up a sign saying, I'm sick. When he goes to inspect you, just pull out your wallet and cough on it and then hand your stuff over there to him. And he's like, looks good to me. Creepy Joe, people are thinking the feds will strip our rights by force, but in truth, people will willingly give up their rights, always. I predict mandatory vaccines coming soon for people to return to work and school. Well, they already basically had that for children. And, we should get like polio and stuff. There are vaccines you should get. But, yeah, people give their rights up. You just scare people a little bit, and then they'll give up their rights willingly, right? The welfare of society is always the alibi of a tyrant, which I really love that quote. Heading home to Armageddon, I know. Alexander, when your body is finished fighting off that strain, you have a natural defense against that virus. But if there's a new strain or a new virus, then you're stuck again getting a new one. So that's why you can get the flu every year. Philip, I got here late. Will the virus killer slow down trucking? I'm supposed to pick up a new used truck tomorrow in Atlanta. Yeah, go pick it up. I mean, as we see on here, there are many drivers that are working overtime, basically more than normal, to get supplies out. I have some owner-operators that have written and said that rates are up. And look, there's still 300-some million people in the United States, right? So everybody still needs stuff. You can't quarantine people in their house and tell them they can't ever go out to get anything. That is not going to happen. From we see from this, nobody has anything in their house. So people will still need stuff. There always has to be a truck. Unless everybody gets stuff droned into their house from some government place, you're still going to have stuff. Companies can't legally charge where'd I go? That drivers, GP transfer for things like late delivery or anything else. It would be the same as us charging a driver for truck damage. We can't do it and wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. But some people are having that type of thing taken out of their check. And I do think GP transfer depends on the state. Some states are more liberal on it in that if you agree to it when you get hired, in some states, each state's different, right? And I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I just saw this on a site about each state. So some states' laws are like super lax and some states are very specific. But some states allow you, if you get hired and agree, okay, if this happens, I get charged this. That's allowed. In some states, it's not allowed. I think that anybody that would do it, you shouldn't work there, but that's another story. But I'm seeing that people are having this taken out of their check. I live in Chicago. Anyone know where I can get an interior detail on my truck? Well, I would say I used to live up there. I know you can get to windshields washed. Just go down to any street and stop at a red light. So, do you have any national toilet paper restocking program? No, but they're probably going to be some kind of head of the toilet paper industry. He'll be number 2 on the list of succession. A company would do that to me once, then I'd drive their truck back to the yard and clean it out and sue them. I don't know if you'd be able to sue them, but you'd certainly get, I would file. That's always the best way, is file and say my wages are being withheld. And then it will be investigated for free to you. I hear hear truck companies get paid $50 for every hour you sit around at the dock, and they give none to you, but after 3 hours. That's why truck companies don't seem to care about your waiting time. Yeah, I have some tariffs from some large companies, probably 6 or 7 of them, and some charge over $100 an hour starting at the first hour for waiting time. So I think that's pretty interesting that they have that tariff put out there. They get that money, but then don't pay you. But of course, drivers, once they say, it's always the thing, you're accepting that. They say, okay, after 3 hours, you get $20 an hour. And once you accept that, you really can't complain about it. You just shouldn't accept it. Anyone see Smart Trucking wear a GP Transco hat in their last video? That's pretty good. No, I haven't seen that. He'll be up there, won't be able to come down here. Steven, I don't do flu shots. Have them for 10 years. Look, the doctor, I was in there and she's like, oh, to get the shot, it's going to be great or whatever. And I hadn't got one for 4 or 5 years. And this year I got one, super sick after it. And that's the last of that probably. At least now when you go to orientation, you get a room by yourself. Oh, that's interesting. For companies that don't provide your own room, I bet they give you your own room now. You could say that. Look, I don't want to be within 3 feet of somebody in that room, because who knows what goes on in those rooms, in those orientation rooms. National Foods in Warrenton, Missouri. It's a cave, not even Google Satellite. That's correct. $200 penalty for 30 minutes. Ivan. Okay, but to your company. To charge the driver that's another story. I prevented a mugging by vomiting on my money. Okay, that's one way to do it. Like the old timer said, those that give up liberty and freedom for a sense of security deserve neither and get neither. That's the thing of it. James Foss wants a GP Transco hat. What if you get real sick and you were 1,000 miles away from home? Do you think the company would charge you to get the truck back? A driver asked me this last night, didn't have an answer. That's interesting. A good company would not. If you've been there and you're a good driver and can't get the truck back, because they know if they're going to charge you for that, you're probably going to quit. So I think it depends on that, So it just depends. A good company probably wouldn't. But if you were sick 1,000 miles from home, the other problem is, who are they going to send to get the truck? They're going to say, what are they going to say? This driver got so sick in his truck that he's on 14-day quarantine. Why don't you go pick his truck up? What are they going to do? They'll have to tow it back. A GP Transco is going to give James Foss a hat. We appreciate that. Love your videos on the FMCSA lifting hours of service. For some loads, I guess they really need truckers. Yes. Time to trucker, value up by higher wages. Yeah, well, rates have gone up. Rates are going up. Owner-operators are writing that rates are way higher on these kind of loads. And with the hours of service, you can run more loads. It's your couple weeks here to make some good money, really. Alexander, headed back to St. Louis to get my new truck. It should be ready. That's going to be awesome. What kind of truck are you going to get? Cassius King, you could tell public schools were closed in Maryland today. Every red light had kids out there trying to wash windshields. Seriously dangerous because they don't move when the light turns. Really? I thought that was just a Chicago thing. And shouldn't these kids be in school? They all said e-learning, although I guess this is spring break for some of them. Are college kids at spring break in Florida? Who lives in Florida? I was born in Chicago, grew up early years as a suburbanite. In high school, we were rural, small farmette. I love it. I live on a farmette near Plainfield, Illinois. Sure was a change in culture, I bet. I would put that down, too, on everyone I would tell. Oh, I live on a farmette. And we drive a Chevette. Indianapolis declared a local disaster. Limiting travel. What does limiting travel mean? Jason, and who are they limiting travel to? If you're having wage issues, notify your state board of labor. They will help you get with a reason, and many times you're missing money. Yes, these kind of late charges and that, go to the Department of Labor in whatever state you're in and just put down that you worked and are not being paid. And then they will inquire with the company, and the company will have to explain why they didn't pay you. And if it's a late fee that they're not allowed to charge, they'll make them give you that money back. I've gotten some loads that were already late when they were signed. Showed up and got charged $150, but my company always paid. So the company knows it anyway. They're paying it, no problem. The company paid it, no problem. GP Transco was awarded the top fleet for hire in 2020 by Fleet Owner 500 last week. That's pretty good. We've never heard of Fleet Owner 500. Has anyone heard of them? You got an award from a place you didn't even know what it was. Anybody heard of Fleet Owner 500? Who's the Fleet Owner 500? Is that for companies that have less than 500 trucks? Is it the top 500 companies? Not sure. Fleet Owner 500. Hey, it's an award. I'll take it. Put that on the wall with all the rest of the awards that your company is collecting. Alexander, I wonder how the virus will affect Tinder hookup culture. Yikes. That's I wonder what they're doing. Do they have like a statement on their site? I'm not even going to search it, because then Google will forever remember that you searched that. But when you want to go search that, see if they have some kind of statement on their site. Does it tell you on a doll where to put the Purell? Should I demand the truck be detailed for protection against coronavirus? The last truck I got from Schneider wasn't cleaned well. I don't think they clean the trucks very often. Well, I guess you could demand it, and we'll see what they say. Just bring a Lysol antibacterial spray and spray it in there and wait for a little bit, so that it works. The Burberry trucker ordered a coffee grinder, and it was just delivered. You ordered it yesterday? Wow, I guess Amazon is still working. The package is now in my smoker to disinfect it. They said that only some items will be delayed, that otherwise they're business as usual. I guess you must be a Prime member to get the next day. We're saying hi from Naperville, GP Transco. You should go to Kansas City. The caves are called Subtopolis, pretty freaky. I've been to the ones in Missouri. Are these the ones in Missouri? I've been in the caves down there. Never got charged a late fee because I pulled up to the dock. It's on the right because that's the way it was, one way. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm like, how am I going to get in here? He's like, oh, you pull in that hole there across from the dock. You pulled in a hole, which was just an unlit hole in the wall. And it went way in there. You went way in there and backed in the dock. Crazy. Craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm trading you're trading a Freightliner for a new Volvo. Oh, that'll be great. That'd be my upgrade. Other than a Western Star. GP Transco had kids running around the office today. Parents go to work at GP Transco, don't have anywhere to put their kids, who's off school because of the corona. So you're letting the kids come to work? That's pretty good of you. That's pretty good. What are they going to do? Because some schools are saying they may be closed through the end of the school year. So what are they going to do? I guess if they can come to work, that's all right. It kind of disrupts the workplace, right? Are a lot of way stations closed, or is that just by accident? I think it's by accident. They're like roaches. They're not going to close for stuff. Spring break was extended a week here in Texas. Very well could be extended next week. Oh, absolutely. I'm wondering, the college students, are they going to the beaches in Florida or whatever? I drive a dump truck now. Just feel sorry for the over the road. I had to suffer too, Ivan. I think that road drivers will be better through this one. Super T Transport lets you design your own truck and gives it to you. Brand new, comes with TV2. That'd be interesting. Design your own trucks. It's like Western Distributing. Indiana has 1 death now, Christina, from the coronavirus. What are there, 6 million people in the state? Well, we should all stay home. Mac, what if you're 1099? Well, you can't be a 1099 employee. You mean, what if you're misclassified wrongly? And then you're an independent contractor. So they'll probably charge you. You can't go to the state because you're not an employee. Another benefit of being a proper employee like you're supposed to be. But 1099, you're going to be independent. They're saying like, well, you don't work there. So you can't go to the state and fill the form out. You'll have to try to get that changed. So yeah, another way, if you're actually being charged, another way they would be hosing you. We are recommending drivers and employees take a break from Tinder until the CDC calms down at GP Transco. Oh my gosh, I wish that would go out as an official message on Qualcomm or whatever you use over there. Oh my gosh, somebody should send that message out. I just printed out a couple of these coronavirus surveys. Going to have the lot lizards fill them out before you can let them in the truck. Just King, please have you been with someone from another country? The Department of Labor are criminals. They don't own a percentage pay or mileage pay. They're owed money by a trucking company. The best they can do is minimum wage. That's all you're allowed to get. any amount beyond that, unless you have a contract, is in dispute. So the law is minimum wage. Beyond that, you would have to sue a company to prove beyond that. They'll get you minimum wage, but they're also not allowed to take out fees that are not allowed. So if you're owed wages and they take it out for a wrong reason, where they're withholding money like that, that money can be given back to you. Preston doesn't like Volvos. I love them. Highway freak, your trainer dropped you at the terminal and said he wasn't training anymore, but DM said it was because I snore and he couldn't sleep. I'm done with training. You snore so much. Alexander Subtropolis was a pain to back in, fully loaded. The place where I go, you have to blindside back. Well, this place, at least where I went, which I don't know what it was called, it's been quite some time, had a big hole cut across from the docks that you literally pulled into a hole in the wall, which was unlit, and then just backed right out of the hole into the docks. I bought 40 packs of baby wipes. Where'd you find those? When things are really bad, I'm going to be selling them on the corner for 50 a box. Just playing, hey, there's toilet paper going for 50 on eBay. There is. Way station closed on Mississippi off of I-10, but we don't know why that might be. The kids show up at GP Transco while their parents work from home. Oh, yeah, you said their parents are working from home, so they sent their kids in for, like, daycare while they're working. Trucker Hershey's back getting loaded. So if you're a flatbed and strap a roll of toilet paper to deck, do I qualify for the hours of service? Well, I mean, is it going to a grocery store to fill a grocery shelf? Closing public schools. Where did I go? Oh, they're closing the public beaches? Well, wait a minute now. They just said the other day, hey, being in public, not so bad. So which is it? The entire company is being run by 7-year-old kids. Only employees who are at the office are here. Oh, kids of employees. They're just random kids are in there. This would be a perfect time for drivers to band together to demand higher pay. You're kind of getting higher pay in that the rates are up. It would be. Drivers, the thing is, drivers are not going to band together now because some of them are afraid of their job, and then some want the extra money. Some are going to run extra miles and be like, well, not right now. Now's when I'm making extra money. So, and then once it's slower, they're like, well, I can't now. I don't make enough money to do it. So the U.S. Mail Service still uses those small cab overs. Oh, I haven't seen any of those for the mail. I see these little single axle trucks running around here. Saw a bottle of hand sanitizer for $77 on Amazon. Yep, should have got it when they could make it. What makes you like Volvo so much? I just like the way they're laid out. I think they're laid out better than most trucks. It's like they took the time to figure out the whole dashboard. You get the gauges where they should be. They're not, obstructed from your view. All the switches are where they should be. And it's comfortable. Was always a good, comfortable ride. I thought it was well made. Yeah, be sure to sterilize your hat severely when it comes in. Trucker Hershey is part of the GP Transco team as of last week. All right, that's really great. Going to go first load out there and then get shut down. And Trucker Hershey, I understand, has a teal colored truck, so I don't understand that. I don't know where these trucks are. I certainly don't see one over here. Has anybody heard more about this? People were talking earlier about Trump banning interstate travel. Has there been an announcement about that or anything? I'm not, because I'm on here, I can't look at that. So that would be really something. I'm really curious about that. And who exactly would be banned? And right, how do they ban interstate travel? Where you can't, are guards lined up down the border? The money is good for owner-operators right now. I'm going to drop my flatbed and rent a dry van. Oh, major cities have close to 1,500 loads going out. That's correct. Right. How to fix a lie in a deck report. Right. Get a copy of your deck report at hireright.com, and it explains on there how to contest it. Looks like I could get over 3,000 miles the first week. Sweet. That's a good way to start your week out. Hopefully you get the top 50% bonus that they have too. You saw 3 over last week. Now, but the thing is about, do people have dry vans to rent you? Are they available to rent? Because if there's all these loads, you can't be the only one thinking about this. Volvo's an insult to old school trucking. Well, but I don't run old school trucking. I run, 2020 trucking. So, I mean, it's old school trucking. That's all great, spring ride and, manual steering. But that's not what I'm doing here. I'm trying to just have a comfortable ride driving all day, Volvos are un-American. They're made in the United States, unlike Freightliners, which are made in Mexico, a lot of them. So I don't know about that. They're made right here in the United States. Jerry Rock saw teal GP Transco in Greenfield, Indiana. Oh, so close. So close. He didn't say it, but more of a hint of domestic restrictions. Okay, so nothing. Have you heard about the tax deadline? Are they extending it? They said they might extend it. So if they'll probably wait until next month to say anything about that, but they said that they very well might extend it to some people, and I don't know how they'll do that. They'll probably have to extend it for everybody, because how would you prove you were in quarantine? They did talk about a 3-month extension. They did, but you can always get an extension for free by merely filling out a form that takes 2 seconds and can be filed electronically at no cost to you, and you get an automatic 6-month extension. So that's always been available to you. Always keep that in mind if you do need to file an extension. And I'm not a CPA, but I do taxes every year, and I have filed that extension before, so I know it's easy to do. It took me like 20 seconds on TurboTax. Do you want an extension? Yes. Sign here electronically. Bingo, they send it in. You get it. It's automatic. Nothing shows up about Trump banning local or interstate travel. Okay, that's good. There was just talk about that earlier, and I thought, oh, well, that'd really be something. That would have basically crashed everything. You can go to Extra Lease or Metro. Believe me, you could get one. Have one on hold. Okay, I'm just wondering if there are a lot of loads and the rates are up. You're not the only one that thought of this, and I think it's a great idea. Curiously, because I'm a company driver on here, people may not know that are new or whatever. How much does a van cost a week to rent? A dry van. The biggest Volvo truck plant in the world is in Virginia. They build engines in Maryland. I know they're made in the United States, unlike a lot of domestic manufacturers who would make their trucks somewhere else. So I don't think that's a bad deal, The same way with cars. There are a lot of foreign cars that are made in the United States, and a lot of American makes are made in Mexico or somewhere else in the world and imported. Some Buicks come here from China. Okay, so we can't really complain. And then you get a Hyundai made here in the United States, and Volvo cars made here, BMWs made here. So I don't know about all that. Americans are working, and I'm happy. I'd imagine you can get Celadon trailers. Oh, just drive around a truck stop and go get a Celadon trailer. People still send me pictures of them. They're all over the place. There was talk about extending the tax deadline, but honestly, it doesn't matter because the IRS is going to want their money, even if it's like I am legend out here. That's true. You'd still have to pay. But if they extend the deadline, your new deadline would be later. Where now if you file an extension and you owe money on April 15th, say you owe them $500 or whatever, you file an extension, you still get charged interest and late fees beyond the date that you should have paid the money. So if they extend the deadline later, you don't owe the money till the new deadline also. So that's how it would work on that stuff. That's my understanding of it. See your tax professional for more details. I feel bad for the kids' meetup school graduations in the spring. Yeah, they're not going to be able to have that probably. It isn't the end of the world as we can sit here and say now, but it's important then. I agree with you. Oh, $950 a month? That's not bad. $250 a week for trailers. That include all the maintenance and plates and everything on it? Graduations will be delayed. And is there a mileage fee or unlimited mileage? See, I've never rented a trailer. Can you imagine how long it takes Buick to cross the ocean? I know, especially with the 90-year-old and the left turn signal is on the whole time. That's why when you get a Buick, the battery's always dead. Its left turn signal has been on ever since it left China, that little Encore thing that they make over there. Renting a reefer's $1,100. Does that include maintenance? Dry van's $800 a week. Holy crap! That's as much as a truck. Saw 2 Celadon trailers yesterday. Yeah, there's your free trailer right there, and people are sending them to me. Heck, you can get a truck that way. It's already got a DOT number on it. There's no such thing as American cars. There's a warehouse in Laredo that has Ford, Chevy, and Chrysler parts from Mexico. The cars all have stuff from all over the world too, but I'd still rather they're at least made here. Because then I know Americans are working on the car. Parts come in. Americans still build the car like Subaru. Subaru is made right here in Lafayette, Indiana. It's their only plant in the United States. They make a lot of cars here. It employs thousands of people right here in Lafayette. It's the biggest employer here in Tippecanoe County. All those people work right here in America making a foreign car where there's people making Fords, like Fusions in Mexico. Ivan, yeah, you need to go into leasing. I think that's $800 a month. Josh, I wish all drivers would run outside of hours of service, would not run outside, deliver those loads under the current rules, and hopefully we can negotiate for better rules. All rates would stay higher. That's true. And what this does, when we change the rules to allow people to drive more, it gets more capacity in the system. Well, with more capacity in the system, guess what? The prices go back down. And that hurts owner-operators, especially in the long run, and people on percentage. And somebody on a video recently accused me, well, there's another dig at owner-operators. I'm not digging at owner-operators. I'm saying if they increase your time that you can run for everybody that's hauling these loads, the rate's going to go down because there's more trucks to haul them. That's just supply and demand. There was some guy on OIDA talking about that on the Landline Now show. He said, this was a driver. Why should my tires, that's what he said. Why should loads be supply and demand when my tires that I have to buy for my truck aren't supply and demand? I'm like, they certainly are supply and demand. That's how things are priced in the United States. I thought, where do they find people to get on the radio? Vans cost $185 to $220, depends on where you get them. Okay, a week, so $800,000 a week. But does that include maintenance and the plate? I don't think the plate's that much. Does it include maintenance on the van? Kentucky just closed all bars and restaurants except for takeout. Do you think they'll be closing the rolling Rover Wiener version? No, roller wieners. I mean, they're known to stop the virus. In fact, nothing can live on them. That's the thing of it. So they're antiseptic. They have antiseptic properties. Many of them are ground up and made into hand sanitizers and stuff like that. So absolutely, they'll still be available. I have an 18-year-old brother that is going to be under a lot of stress. Well, I will tell him, that, I don't know what to say to him. It's stressful. Okay, 100 years ago would have been even more stress. Hey, Mark, it's Todd. Massive panicking. Todd, yes, absolutely. It's a disaster out there. I don't know what we're going to do. There's no toilet paper. Only unionized car makers get parts from other countries due to the high overhead of the worker. Oh, no, a lot of car makers get parts from other countries. A friend of mine hauls parts in from Mexico to the Hyundai plant. So absolutely, they get parts from other countries. Companies that supply schools and restaurants are canceling loads. There's a downside of it. Restaurants, too. If you can't go sit in the restaurant and you're a Cisco driver and now all these restaurants are closed, where you deliver, Sigma delivers over here and stuff, you're not going to have as many loads to deliver. That's true. There's going to be people hauling water that make more money and you, which make less money. That's true. The barbecue truckers and Toyota pickups are made in San Antonio, Texas. Correct. So why is that not as American as an F-150? I mean, they're still Americans making the pickup truck. But then the Fusion made in Mexico. Is that an American car more than like a BMW that's made in South Carolina? Do you think the FMCSA will suspend the drug testing so we can really get in some miles? Oh, nice. Well, I think since you have all those yellow jackets, they're going to have to do yellow jacket testing. Huh. Hey, Mark, thanks for all the info. Keep up the good work. Thanks, JH. Steel Horse, never. Right. That one they're not going to pass on. So Ivan says 1,100 includes maintenance. Okay. Bill, the earth is a ball. The earth is flat. We all can see that. You can just look outside and see it. We all know it. It's scientifically proven by scientist people. I'm thinking about I think Alex Jones even said it once. I'm thinking about going to Walmart to get some liquor, then windshield wipers. Okay. Well, Walmart should have that stuff in stock. Pay $400 dry van, no maintenance, and no insurance. Okay, so you got to do it up, but for $400 you're paying half price. I guess there can't be that much maintenance on a trailer. I know the trailers I haul don't look like they've been maintained in 10 years. You're quoted $950 a month. Nothing said about mileage, but definitely going to read the agreement. Last time I leased a trailer, whatever maintenance was on you. Okay, so $1,000 and you fix it. James Faust, long live Yellow Jackets. Yeah, Cash is King Trucking just bought all of them available basically in the Washington, D.C. area. I am 23-year-old owner-operator. Talk of a strike is silly now in recent history. No need to shut down when we can use this as leverage. Well, you can't. People aren't going to be able to use it as leverage because everybody is running like crazy right now. When people are making a lot of money, they don't want to stop because they're making money. And then when they're making a little bit of money, they're like, oh, now I can't stop because I'm not making any money. Okay, so if you want the virus off your hands, just get a wiener and rub it. Yeah, just rub your wiener on your hands. Like renting a U-Haul, you can choose whatever you want covered. Oh, all right, so you can get extra coverage for it. Roller wieners is saving lives. I know, one wiener, saving lives, one wiener at a time. Volvo cars and BMWs are made in South Carolina. Yes, and BMW's got a nice motorcycle track down there that you can rent a BMW motorcycle and drive around on. Yeah, is that American? Is that more American than a Ford Fusion made in Mexico? That's the question. because it has a name of Ford on it. It's not made here. Americans aren't making that car. BMW, okay, it's a foreign make, but it's made here. Americans are making that car. They're employed right here. Volvo, same way. Volvo's made, S60s or whatever they make here. They make those down there. And V60s, right. I might here stay on this road for 1,000 miles. That's true. Why then is NASA lying to us? I don't know. I don't see, because they're all part of it. NASA doesn't know the stuff that Alex Jones knows. I thought about the other day when they said they were closing all the schools. I thought Cisco and U.S. Foods is going to be cutting overtime. That's right. But maybe they may get in. What I would do is Cisco, if they have the authority to do it, I don't know if they can haul general freight, is get in on some of this water and stuff like that to grocery stores. All these loads that need to be picked up, get in on that. How is the virus going to affect the back row at the TA in Ontario, California, James Faust? Well, I think you're going to have the your new passenger, your new friend, fill a form out. Have they been sick? Have they visited anyone that's sick? That kind of thing. Yep. And you're going to have to specify what sick means. You know, I know right now how to run a trout line, skin a buck. You're going to need to know that. Get ready for martial law. We're waiting for it. It didn't come out today. I was told pure distilled white vinegar is a good sanitizer. I don't know. Not a doctor. It'd be interesting to know what's on it. I guess alcohol, which ironically I have a lot of from making windshield washer fluid. So I've got tons of 91% isopropyl alcohol here. Trucker Hershey, what color is the new truck? Who wants a slip seat with the virus? Look, as long as you both have it, I guess you're okay. Yeah, what about Walmart drivers? That's a very interesting question. And other people. What about slip seating a sleeper at Walmart if you're a Walmart driver? Anybody drive for Walmart? Ooh, are you going to slip seat your sleeper truck? Leverage for hours of service change. This is just proof of how arbitrary the hours of service rules are, right? This is total proof of that. If it's not safe, it's not safe. So they can't suspend them till April 12th, too. It isn't like just overnight. You could literally drive these loads back and forth with just 10 hours off in between them until April 12th. Well, is that safe or is it not safe? And somebody needs to list all the accidents that happened during this time to see if there's extra accidents. Rubber alcohol is a form of sanitizer, rubbing alcohol, but then I get the 91% alcohol to make windshield washer fluid. So and they said get at least 60%. I've got tons of 91%. Stock prices are up at Joe's Roller Wiener Emporium. Stocks are going up. I just like the idea of the hours of service exemption. Just drive like you want, not overworking yourself, and do what you can. The other side of this, though, Mob, is that for employees, and a number of people have written to me, Tyson Foods is one of them, where they're telling people to drive 14 hours. Okay, as soon as they lift it, companies push you farther. What if that day you're too tired? I guess then you have to argue with them, but then their argument now is that's not illegal. Always before, you always had the law on your side to say, you can't make me drive more than this amount of hours. Now, they go, well, you have a water load and it needs to go 1,700 miles, so get it there immediately. If you refuse, they have a more of a cause now, I think, to say, well, we're not asking our drivers to do anything illegal. That's always been the holdout on it. Moonshine mixed with slight aloe equals hand sanitizer, steel horse. Oh, that's not a bad way to do it. Can you even get aloe? I bet they're out of that. Fleet Nav Systems is late, but you're here? All right. It's good to see you, Fleet Nav Systems. Who's got an ELD question now? I have a question for you on Geotab and other ELD systems. How does a driver log the DOT hours of service exemption? How about that? There's a question that everybody wants to know at Fleet Nav Systems. How about that? I even said the ad in there. I'm trying to see how FedEx is affected. Well, they should still be busy, I think. Wisconsin I-39 was open. I think the scales were open or closed. I don't think it's affecting this. The virus was a jumpstart for the already failing economy. Is it working? It depends on what sector you're in. Cash to Scheme Trucking, I'm going to have to put more than that on the Lot Lizard form than just coronavirus. Oh, I think the Lot Lizard form is going to have a separate, please use a separate sheet to list all the diseases. And then you'll have to search through and see which one, is acceptable to you. Stand your ground. It shouldn't be a discussion. It shouldn't be, but it certainly is. Is Walmart paying these drivers for the time to sanitize their trucks so they don't get sick? I doubt it. I certainly doubt it. They are paying their people that go home. They said that anybody that has to go home from them for right now will be paid. Stay safe and clean and healthy, and hope to be here next week. Good job, Mark. Good day. Thanks, George Wilson. Yeah, we hope to all be here. Look, I'll be here. Even if I'm quarantined, I'll still be here. Are they providing bleach and cleaners for the truck? I hope so. A lot of companies do. I guess TMC already did. So I hope so. If any place should have it, it'd be Walmart, right? Peroxide's a disinfectant. You can buy it in a spray bottle in the pharmacy at Walmart. It's what doctors use, but probably not available right now. No extra hours without extra pay. Don't be a bootlicker. Well, are you saying extra pay beyond what you normally get? So if a driver gets 50 cents, you want to work those extra hours, you're going to say, I want more money. I think the problem comes in that they can say, well, look, we're not asking you to do anything illegal, so good driving. That's interesting. But then the DOT always says that if you're too tired, don't drive. So that will be an interesting fight. Matt Header, your father got you a Chevette. He got me a Corvette. What a disappointment. Yeah. Chevette would be better with the Isuzu non-turbo diesel engine in it. That's the way to go with that. And the 3-speed automatic. Oh, good question. See what we can find. All right, Fleet Nav Systems. What I'm telling people is notated in their logs. You still have to log. So take a notation of it. Always put a notation and keep the bills. Make a copy of the bills and keep them basically forever. So that if somebody goes back and looks at that and you go, here's what I hauled right here, what it is, so you can prove it. Mark Ely, sorry if I'm late. If I get coronavirus while I'm working, should I get workers' comp? Oh, that's a good question for a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. It's not a work-related problem. So let's say you went to work and got the flu from somebody. Would you get workman's compensation? I don't think so, right? If you go to work and you get the flu, you don't get it. So what I would say no, but you'd have to ask a lawyer for an actual legal answer to that. I don't think so. But personally, I don't think so. Steel Horse, you put the exemption in the remarks. That's what I'm saying to people is you still log it and put the exemption in there. Hey, I'm exempt because of this. And I think you keep the bills. Keep the bills. Make a copy. You're going to have to throw them at the cashier at the Loves. They don't want to touch or anything, but have them make you a copy and then go keep those bills. Michael Muller sprays the inside of your truck with Ozium and Lysol. And you're what is it? Would Ozium work? It would just smell better, I guess. I find it funny because drivers used to make fun of me for how clean you kept your truck, but now everyone's cleaning their inside of the truck out of fear. Well, if you're the only one in the truck and you haven't been sick, I don't know that cleaning your truck is going to do anything, really, more than what you normally did. You must carry a copy of the FMCSA exemption with you. All right. Schools in my Illinois town are delivering breakfast and lunch to school kids using school buses. That's good. It'll keep the drivers working. That's good. That's a good idea. Off the bat, all right, Fleet Nav Systems. I'd guess you just keep your hours and annotate all of them. With Geotab, if you go over your hours, you can annotate them and use the ignored feature to keep the timer straight. Oh, nice. Ignored. Ignore. It should be hazard pay, especially if you're going to a highly infected area. It should be, but what is highly infected? 400 people out of, millions of people. Is that highly infected? Steel Horse, is TMC paying to clean the truck now? Oh, no. They're going to say, look, your trucks are already so clean, we don't have to pay you any extra for it. I just had a broker ask you if you had pallets. I laughed, but I think I may have offended him. I'd say, oh, I'm sorry. Did I call 1987? Is this 19? I'm sorry. Did I place a call through time? Who exchanges pallets? Of course, always ask your local DOT. None of this is legal. Well, yeah, you don't want to ask the officer. You want to find out before you get out there. Working on getting a more official answer. Not sure if we'll have it by the end of the live stream today. You may not have the answer by the end of the coronavirus. Ozium is disinfecting. Is it really a disinfectant for the air? Most coronavirus cases are not really debilitating, as in it passes on its own like a common cold. Many people are infected, have it with such minimal symptoms they don't know about it. Yeah, GP Transco, that's what I was saying earlier, is that according to the CDC, 81% of people get a mild case and don't even really realize what they had. And some of those people are probably spreading it around or whatever, but most people are not affected where they can't even function. The older you are, the worse it is for you, meaning 60 plus, they're telling people to stay in, and that's where the deaths occur, 70, 80 years old. And if you have some kind of other medical condition, like reduced lung capacity, like my wife has more or less a reduced lung capacity. So I'm kind of worried about her. It's not like I see a lot of people anyway, but I'm just staying away from people even more than I do, which is not much extra more. So I don't bring it back to her, that kind of thing. But otherwise, most people will be fine from it. John, just checked your email. Martin is maintaining the normal hours of service. Yeah, it's a company-wide thing, too. I don't want to tell drivers to just run as much as you want. If you're an employee, you'll have to ask your company what their policy is on running extra hours. So if they say no, then you're still stuck on your regular hours of service. The Cash is King Lot Lizard Registry database. I'm working on the app now. Oh, that could go right along with the other database where they have to register. And if they change locations, they have to register at the new location. They can just give you their Lot Lizard registry number, their LLRN, as I call it. Workers' comp is for work-related injuries. Problem is CV isn't an injury, it's a virus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that if you're at work and there's somebody sick there, just at a normal course of day, and then say they have the flu, you get the flu. That's not a workman's comp. You're just off sick. So for this, I would say personally, I don't think so. You'd have to ask a work comp attorney or whatever about it, but I don't think so. I don't think it's work-related. Although if you cannot work, from what they're saying, at least here in Indiana, you would qualify for unemployment, and they're not making you look for another job for 4 weeks if you get coronavirus. So you have that to fall back on. And, of course, you should have, at least a few bucks to hold yourself over as well would be a good idea. Of course, it's too late. If you don't have it now, it's too late now. I was in New York City this weekend, and the fast food places weren't even letting people in the building, serving people out the drive-thru. Right, they're not allowed. Now, Indiana's the same way now. There's a few other states you can't go inside. Can't go inside. That's right. The virus is killing older people or people with weak immune systems. People have it and don't know it. Yeah, they just think, oh, I have a cold or whatever. And a lot of people, they're not even going to notice. But they pass it around to other people and that happens every day. That's the thing in society. There's sick people out every day that have a cold, that have a flu or whatever, and we're around them. So just take the normal precautions that you do every day. That's what I think, because you can't live your life hiding in a corner for fear that something might at some point kill you. You'll never live a life, because you'll never live a life. And this has made people rethink their lives. It's really incredible, right? Now, like I always tell people, now's the time of any time. Go do what you've always wanted to do, because you just don't know. This probably won't kill you, but you just don't know. Charlie, I know Prime, Wilson, and May, as such, aren't using the exemption, running regular. Guess they don't trust their drivers. I think, look, these large companies especially, it's going to be a tough thing to keep track of, because who's got this load? Because they don't only run these loads. So, like Prime runs a lot of loads. So is this asparagus load? Okay, it's going somewhere. I don't know if there's asparagus right now. But then somebody else got a load of shirts. Maybe that doesn't go there. I mean, it'd be a mess trying to figure that out, I can imagine. It'd be easier to just keep everybody on the same hours of service. Because every time they get a thing on their log, I assume the company gets some kind of notification. Because drivers here are forever getting busted on log violations, even though it's electronic logs. They're over hours or didn't take a 30-minute break or something. So the company must get notified immediately. The age of all the candidates of the presidential election, they're most likely to be affected of anybody. Once you're over like 95, like they all are, that's a problem, right? Illinois is closed. All sit-in restaurants and bars, but carry-out is still allowed. You can just go get your food and take it. I did that a lot anyway. I usually didn't sit inside. I never go to a restaurant by myself. So if I didn't know anybody there, I'm not sitting there by myself. Some people bring a book in. That was never for me. You exchange pallets at DOT at Dot Foods? Really? They're still I haven't exchanged a pallet. I can't remember how long. Even running reefer on the road, we didn't exchange pallets. We left them. You'll be shocked. Rob Lowe wants every penny. Probably running them silly. Who's Rob Lowe? Why does Rob Lowe have anything to do with anything? So many times it's closed last weekend. Today it's just as bad. What do you think it's going to be like in a week or two if people start dying? Well, there's people dying now, but people die every day. It's horrible. There's 400 people. We just had our first death, one death in Indiana. One. There's 6.4 million people in the state. And nobody can go out to eat. We're seeing a good number of drivers asking for much more home time, saying, I don't want to be far from my family, but that's hard to do because we need to deliver loads. GP Transco. That's correct. Being home all the time like that, they got to be a local driver to do that, to be by their family. This is exactly correct. You got to say, look, this is a road job, and that's part of the downside of the road is that you're gone. The good side, you can go deliver all over the place, but then You got loads to deliver. My company just said to call telehealth before going to the ER. It's on your insurance, not workers' comp. That's what I thought, right? It would be your insurance. And we have some kind of teledoc thing, too. You can call in, which is actually convenient rather than going, don't just run to the ER because you have a cough, okay? Please don't do that. There's lots of people. 10 out of 10 people died. No, we've had, hundreds of cases in Indiana, 80 cases and 1 death. I just read today right before the show that we had our first death. The ones that don't even know that they are sick are just carriers. I'll stay with my mask. That's correct. There's a lot of people carrying that don't know they're carrying, and they don't mean to do it. That makes those drivers of families who are over the road heroes at GP Transco. Okay? I think heroes are probably a stretch. Yeah, but you think, what if people get desperate and go mad out here? I don't know. I'm a worst case kind of guy. My family's fully stocked and heavily armed. I don't know if it's going to come to that. But I thought it was interesting that some places are not taking cash money. I thought, because people always say, well, why don't you ever have money, Mark? I don't know. I don't really have money with me. Everything is carded. And now places won't take cash. Right? And so now I know these drivers, we have drivers that are not electronic, whatever, they only have money. There are places not accepting cash money. That's pretty good. Transport America has 1 infected driver. How many drivers does Transport America have? And how did they get it? Prime was voted best mega carrier to drive for in 2019. Wow, congratulations, Prime. Who voted? All Prime executives, it says. Don't use scab lot lizards. Oh, you only use the registered ones. Absolutely. I saw those stickers on the trailer. So they have rolls of toilet paper. So they have rolls of paper made into TP. Can I disregard hours of service if it goes to restock shelves? Rob Lowe owns Prime Mob Internet. Who says Rob Lowe? You talking about Lowe? Rob Lowe, the actor? Is that true? I've never heard that he owns Prime. I think the virus got into Joe Biden's memory. He must have had it for a while. Did Amazon Prime and Prime Inc. ever settle their name issue? Not yet. It's still in court, and they're still hard to tell apart. You can't tell. The only way to tell is the truck is from 1973. It's probably Amazon. Biden got Alzheimer's. I don't know that's true. All our drivers have access to call a road doctor from anywhere on the road, trying to have more drivers take advantage of this. Yeah, look, it's always best to call in before you go in. Now or any other time. If you've got some medical thing that you're like, if you have a broken arm or something, but otherwise, give these teledoc things. I've used it, right? Give them a call. You talk to a medical professional, and then they decide, and you can still go see the doctor. They don't say you're prohibited. But you can get some information from a medical professional about what is going on with you. Truck drivers, roundtable discussion, never surrender your firearms or register. So far, mortality rate is around 0.07%. Oh, well, that's enough to close down the entire country. Cashless society, yeah. But the thing is, right now, it's the opposite of what people say, because people always are talking, oh, what if the internet goes down? What if everything goes down? You'll need money. Well, right now, people aren't taking money. You have to have cashless. You have to go cashless right now in some places. So it's the opposite. So they're putting the responsibility on the owner, operator, and small fleet owners, the same ones that the ATA wants to get rid of. Well, Josh, this is interesting, right? So if all the ATA, which is mainly these large companies and some others, if they go, oh, we're not going to participate in this, and then there's a lot more accidents, it will be the people that ran over hours, right? And then that's even more ammunition for them to say, look, see, you did this, and now look what happened. All the extra deaths you had, all the more reason to limit their speed, to put speed limiters on owner-operators, to hold their hours of service and all that kind of stuff. It's a smart move on their part. And believe me, somebody, the ATRI, which is the American Transport Research Institute, part of the ATA, they're going to be keeping those numbers 100% so that they can see exactly where the accidents are coming from. And if any of you owner-operators or whatever start having more accidents, it's going to be super bad when this ends. No cash equals no business. Well, but right now, no cash places are saying no cash. And people are having to pull a card out or whatever. They just don't want to handle the money. Some people are already fighting in store over toilet paper. I saw that on the news. There were 2 guys at Walmart beating each other with wine bottles over toilet paper. I thought, that is the number 2 worst thing I've seen all day today. I'm like the doctor of love. You're like Gene Simmons. I bet he has enough toilet paper. In Italy since the outbreak, very bad, the government decides who lives or dies. I guess as the social healthcare works, this is not fake news. Are you in Italy right now? I don't use any cards. I only do cash. Christina, it's a problem at places that don't take cash right now. I would say that. Rob Lowe is his government. I don't know if he's an actor or not. He does reportedly has the largest house in the country. Well, I don't mind him having a large house in the country if he can afford it. I mean, that never bothers me. If somebody has money and they want to buy a big house, that's okay with me. I mean, I'm not gelling up on them. I'm not all jelly like that. But if somebody has money and wants a big house, that's okay. They have a right to have a big house. In America, if I want everybody to have rights, then people that have money, they have rights. If he wants to have 6 Rolls Royces and a big house and has money, that's no problem. I got no problem with that. But I didn't know that he owned Prime. I'd have to look into that. I never read that anywhere. That the actor is... why would he own a trucking company? Regarding Prime as the best mega carrier is like being the best tallest midget. Yeah, exactly. The best mega carrier. What kind of award is that? And who votes for that? All the mega carriers? All the hammer lawyers. Bill Orrs calls truck insurance to rise by 17%. Truck insurance went way up. Way up. Cassius King says it's a different Rob Lowe. Oh, okay, so it's not the actor. I'm like, why would that actor own the company? I have family in Italy, and that's true. They're afraid the government is going to take away their ability to make outside contacts. Well, that wouldn't have... How would they explain that in relation to the virus, though, right? Calling somebody on a phone, we can't transmit... I guess you can get a virus through the phone, but not that kind of virus. So I wonder how they would explain that. Of course, you're not going to be able to use your phone soon. If you can't go anywhere, which is in Italy, you're basically prohibited from leaving. You're not going to have any money pretty soon. Mob with wine bottles. Oh man, I know one guy got one broken over his head and he had to go to the hospital. And I thought, well, there, Walmart lost 43 cents on Sam's wine or whatever the heck it was there. Stillhorse uses cash only. There are some places not taking cash. I thought it was somewhat ironic. Truck drivers, you need food, bottled water. I don't know about water, first aid kits. And keep your tanks full. Yeah, I agree. That stuff's not bad to have. You should always have some food in your truck. I'm not giving up my firearm. How I protect myself from the coronavirus. You can shoot them all. They're big. You could see them coming. They were fighting on the news in Memphis. I don't remember what city it was in. But a lot of folks in Memphis just need a reason because they're like fighting each other sometimes. Hey, that's a good reason to get out. You don't want to be cutting people. There's no saying they're taking away the ability to let others know what's going on. No, they're saying they're taking away... Oh, I see. Well, but what they would have to cut off the internet and everything. Italy is not like... It's not Russia over there. I think they meant Rob Lowe gets Prime women. That's probably the more true statement. And he might have a big house, too. Now you can rob a bank without a gun. You just threaten the teller and you're going to cough on them. Oh, if you don't give me the money, I'll move closer to you. I'll move within the 6-foot exclusion zone. Hand that note over there. Rob Lowe, founded in 1970 by Rob Lowe. I see. Prime is North America's most successful tanker company, right? Refrigerated from the net. Okay, Rob Lowe, L-O-W. Not L-O-W-E, the actor, Rob Lowe. It's Rob Lowe. And they received the 2013 Innovation Award for what? What did they innovate in 2013? Ooh, our new training program here at Prime, where we make you team train all the time. That's always been my problem with the place, really. All the team training. Let's see. Swift. Oh, Swift was 31.91 last week. It's 28.44 today. 28.44. Italy is on lockdown, Christina. One can leave, only one per house, and only to get necessities. I know someone from Naples. The only time they can leave is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You have to get food or whatever, right? And the problem is, if you can't leave your house, not everybody can work from home. So how long are they doing that for over there? Holy mackerel. Because the whole economy be ruined. I'm waiting for a Ferrari to be delivered. If they can't go and build it, how's it ever going to come over here? Hey, Mark, who do you drive for? Well, it's a funny thing that you ask that. For new people, I don't ever say where I drive. That keeps them out of my videos and out of my viruses. And also, then I also don't recruit for them. So that always works out good. There's so many people on YouTube recruiting for their company. I don't do that. I think it keeps it all clear that way. Your best bet to keep a combination as well as cards to be ready to take care of immediate bills. Keep cash in a safe or hidden. Yes, I keep it hidden in behind a poster of Rob Lowe. Tony, are you still on? Yes, for about another 5 minutes or so. Next gen, $22 an hour local. That's not bad. Can't shut down over the road. I mean, if you shut down the trucking, oh my gosh. I can't imagine them doing that, right? Christine, it's been 3 weeks now. So people basically are broke. You can't go out and get anything. You don't have any money. We're prisoners in our own homes. Can you say tyranny? I don't know how they would do that here. Say you can't travel anywhere to get anything. So no work, nothing. That would really be something. And there goes my Ferrari right out the window. I'm never going to get it over here. Tony drives for Pam. Yeah, Pam, by the way, Pam 2711 today, 3310 last week. It took a big drop too. Just stopping what's in this Flying J shutdown. There's been tons of people on the internet posting that Flying J, Pilot, Loves, just various truck stops are going to close at a certain, it's closing at 2, 3. They're not closing. So as soon as you see one of these things, don't just repost it. That's what's been happening on the internet. Somebody sees this and then reposts it, and it goes all over the place. Don't do that. They are not closing. They said they're opening. They're going to close their restaurants or whatever according to local laws, but the truck stops are staying open. You don't have to worry about that. I'm in California. There's no food anywhere. There's coconut trees. Just go shake one. Thanks, Wild Bill. I got to use paper logs, Al Jones, for the first time ever. I think a fuse a bad in your Volvo, and my Omnitrax doesn't work, so now I need to find the fuse. Yeah. Hey, but you're on paper log now. Italy's like martial law. Doctors been speaking on how they're trying to eliminate the spread of virus by killing infected people. It's very real. No, that's something. Next Gen, I dig the channel. Always a pleasure. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. And don't forget Mountain Dew, of course. Showers are still available to the drivers. Those are using the coronavirus as excuse. Yeah, I know. Everything's still available in there other than sit-down restaurants. No buffets. So I don't know what drivers are going to do. Where are they going to wear their dirty wife beaters to? There's no buffet to wear it to. Spain's on a lockdown too, and using police and drones to enforce the lockdown. Drones? Is a drone going to make you get back in your house? That would ruin. I can't see that here, but I guess people probably said that there too. So that would ruin the entire country. If drivers couldn't drive, are they not allowing truck drivers to travel around those countries either, at least during the daytime hours? They're by themselves in the truck. If the truck drivers can't drive and nobody can go to work, how does anybody have any money? The government must pay everybody to stay at home. They would have no other choice but to do that, certainly. And always, if you wear it, make it a parrot, as we always say here. And I want to bring up, Jay. I didn't bring up Jay today. Always see Jay. He's going to be live. I assume he's going to be live from the Jay bunker over in the Midwest in an undisclosed location. He'll be live at 8 p.m. Central Time tomorrow, as long as he can, and before he's turned off there. So that's pretty good. I always forget about that, but I wanted to get him in there. Prime innovated a $1,200 a week lease purchase. Yeah, exactly. Press conference is on now. All right, garbage collectors still work even during a lockdown. Yeah, what about garbage people? Customers can order online. Why don't people shoot the drones down? Be worried about the next big virus. Oh, that's what I told the wife. I go, yeah, this only kills a few people. Wait till the next one. It kills half the people. Taking off today, Fleet Nav System. Thank you for coming. Drive safe, and we'll plan to see you next week. I appreciate it. Christina, thank you. Great show, Mark. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you for coming in. Hoboken, New Jersey is the first to have a nighttime curfew. What about people at work? And plus, in Hoboken, you don't want to be out at night anyway. Alexander, I started a YouTube channel yesterday. I'm still trying to work out the kinks. All right, get it out there. Now is the time. Especially when we're going to be off for 14 days soon, right? But no, seriously, right? Just get started and work it out as you go. GP Transco headed out. Thank you for being here. Thanks. Have a good and healthy week. I appreciate you coming in. I'll go wrangle those kids up over there. If you run out of toilet paper, use your backup paper logs. Wow. And that carbon paper in there. I want to use a drone to fly around me while I drive and film how cool I look driving my truck and singing Limp Bizkit. Wow. That would be an interesting video. North Korea shot and killed their first patient with the virus. I don't know if that's true or not. Well, Dave Ramsey do now that he only uses cash. That's a problem. But he has talked about a debit card. He says a debit card. So cash and a debit card are the same thing. That's what I have, a debit card. So you can use cash or a debit card, but some places will not take your cash. They won't take it. Love Jay's show. Hey, James Faust, thank you for that. Jay's got a great show. He's the one that really convinced me to do a live show every week. So let's see, and I lost my spot there. Posted on my YouTube also. All right. Those countries are nothing like America. What we think is crazy is normal there. I don't know if they would shoot maybe. Our garbage was picked up today. Yeah, they picked up the dumpster here today too. So if you get an answer in the logs, I'll add it as a comment so you'd like to pin it. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just curious about that. Awesome show. Next week's show shouldn't include coronavirus if possible. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about non-coronavirus things next week. James Faust, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Hunsley, I appreciate that. Thank you as we roll out of here today. What do I do if this virus disappears? I can almost guarantee you there'll be lull in the conversation. Well, no, next week there will be, we'll go back to trucking, but this is just out there in the news. We may have an update on it or whatever, but otherwise we'll go back to, there are other trucking besides the DOT hours of service, I mean, which is super important, for what we're doing. I wanted to see this here. Let's see, where am I doing? Clicking, there's GP Transco if you want to contact them, of course. And the Fleet Nav Systems was here today. I appreciate that. And Gracie came in today. She appreciates everybody being here, even though she's not impressed with people coming in. But she says thank you, of course. So there you go. And I want to go back to this and over here. So I'm doing clicking for people that don't know. How about next week's feature, Corona Beer? Oh, that'd be probably a better feature, right? And Columbia George was first Wednesday because I have to head out and make my company some money. We're still rolling. If we stop, I'll let you know. But everything is normal other than when you go in, you have to tell them if you're sick or not. And if you're sick, they're going to send you home for 14 days. They sent a message about that yesterday. So I recommend not telling them you're sick, really, unless you want 2 weeks off without pay. So that's really nice of them. Michael Muller was first with a screenshot, and Wild Bill was first today. So Al Johns was here today. Thank you for coming. And Donald Sloan, I appreciate you being here today, everybody. Van Priss was here today. Christina, thank you for coming in. Tony 5000 was here. And Cassius King Trucking has a new lot lizard form to fill out. Trucker Hershey was here. Thank you for that. Michael Cole was in. And that's really something. Truck Drivers Roundtable Discussion. I love it. Alexandra, probably parking in a sketchy place tonight. Thank you for being here. Steel Horse, no cash equals no business, but we'll see about that, won't we? But we'll see what happens. Thanks for coming in, though. Appreciate it. Hansley was in here today. Mob Ent was here. All right, so there we go with that. I try to get down here. Where am I going? Rolling along the thing. 25,000. I got to that there, so... James Faust, thank you for coming in. Tony Lombardo, Next Gen, thanks for coming here. And I have to head out to my place. Let's see, I got a new thing here. So, and there's this. So thank you for coming in today. And be safe out there. Look, just wash your hands. That's what I'm saying. And just, don't kiss any of the truck drivers at the truck stop like we normally when we meet. Like it's Europe, we can't do that anymore. So please don't be doing any of that. Otherwise, be safe, and we'll see you next Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern live right here. Thanks for coming.